not... You guys could not hear me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic Wednesday. My name is Askren, and I am your host and dungeon master here on the Exploding Dice channel, as you have thankfully joined us for a brand new foray into a brand new campaign. As you can see, new Chinese overlay, new cast, and a new show, and we are going to have a good time. We have a great show in store for you, but before we dive right into that, why don't we take a minute to say hello to our wonderful, wonderful cast. Let me turn this music down just a bit and turn them up, and we will start, as we tend to do, with Mrs. Petra. How's it going? There
now
you
that
go.
I've unmuted myself, I was going to say I was clicking on the wrong icon, but I guess that is what has to happen for the first session. I'm doing good. Thank you.
And who are you going to be playing for us?
I am going to be playing Robin Cassava, who is a human arcane trickster and a former bounty hunter, who, after her last job, did not go quite so well, returned to her hometown of Torch.
Awesome. Fantastic. Looking forward to it. And next up, of course, we have Mr. Scott. How's it going, my friend?
Doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm alright. Can't complain. Probably still will. So, who are you going to be playing for us today?
I am going to be playing Quinn. He is a a hunter ranger, and a hermit of the Numerian wastes. He's been trapped in exile for a very long time, living out in the deserts, and he's heading into Torch in hopes of selling some scrap metal.
Awesome. Liking it a lot. And next to him, we have Mr. Zach. How's it going, my man?
Hello. How is it going?
Same as it was a second ago. It's pretty good. I can't complain.
Yeah, it doesn't change like day to day.
No, well, minute to minute.
Oh, okay.
It's
yeah.
It was good. Now it's not so good.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's why I check in. You know.
And who are you going to be playing for us today?
Well, I am Bolus Figboot, or as they like to call. Well, you'll figure that out. I am a dwarf druid, and I hail from outside where we will be starting today, and I come from a humble clan of dwarves known as the Ridgebark, and the rest you will see.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, we have at the end pulling up cleanup duty. How's it going, Tiger?
I don't know if I like cleanup duty is the title there.
What's the term for the last batter on the line? No, that's batting cleanup, right?
Oh dang, I was just thinking best for last, you know?
Okay, yeah, we'll do it.
Instead, he
we'll
had to
roll
make
with
a
it.
sports ball reference.
Yes. Well, I am playing Karak Stormcleave. She is a half-orc barbarian who grew up in the fighting pits, just recently purchased her freedom, and is now attempting to make a life for herself.
Awesome. A great cast and some really cool characters, and we are going to get into all of this awesome stuff in just a second. But before we do, we have a couple of announcements and some things to go over. You know, just some basic stuff. First of all, if you guys have not hit it already, go ahead and smash that retweet link. Dice Thulu has got it for you in the chat. You just tell all your friends, your family, you know, whoever you think would want to come see some D&D, and yeah, hit that retweet link. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button. Much like I lost my my stream labels, but I will tell you in a second. Come on, stream labels, load for me. Much like we had Velo and the Hippie, and also City of Sin, and Drop the Die, and Leto 4135. And InGen Technician, and I don't know. Those are the ones from today. Welcome to the madness, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Twitch stream doesn't load. Is it down for me? Hold on. No, it doesn't seem to be down because everyone's responding to me in chat.
It might be just my iPod, but it works on other channels.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just making sure we weren't having an issue. Come on. Now I get it. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Just never mind.
So
I'll try it again.
once again, hit that retweet link if you haven't. Hit that follow button if you have not. Thank you so much, Hiramko, for following. Welcome to the madness, my friend. Thank you for joining us. As always, all of the fantastic music and ambiance you guys are hearing, except for this right now, but when we get into the game, all the really cool stuff that you're going to be hearing is brought to you by our friends and supporters over at Sirenscape, who generously...
Sirenscape! Woo!
Yeah. That is the shout out, isn't it? No, Sirenscape is awesome, and they provide us with some fantastic music and ambiance, which we're gonna be getting into. And thank you, Velo, for the $1 saying Carrick Stormcleave for life.
Yes!
Props
Yeah,
right out of the
great.
gate. That's how you do it. You win them over before the game even starts.
Shout out to the fucking Tiger Den showing up. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much for that. Speaking of that, if you guys want to get involved in the game, you look right down below. You will see a big banner that says donation, just like Velo found it. If you want to hit the players up with some nat 20s, some inspiration, possibly a Harrow card to help interpret their future, and other awesome things that help you support the stream and get involved, we appreciate every single bit of it. It goes right back to making the stream even better. And we love you for it. And if you want to contribute on a little bit more of a regular basis and get some cool rewards, you can hit that big subscribe button and get with us on Game Wisp. It's got some really, really cool rewards there for you, and all of that jazz. I'm not gonna dump into that too much. Last but not least, yesterday, I was supposed to be having an episode of Fuzzy Dice with Mike Merles from Wizards of the Coast. We were going to be hanging out, talking Yawning Portal and doing some giveaways and stuff. Scheduling issues, we had to reschedule it, so that big show is going to be moved to next Tuesday's Fuzzy Dice. If you guys don't know, Fuzzy Dice is my weekly talk show. It's every Tuesday. Dice Tool will have the information for you later. So come check us out next week for Mike Merles and giveaway stuff and all that goodness. If you haven't already, watch Twitter for that. I think that's enough for the announcements. So why don't we do this? We'll take this down a little bit, and we'll bring our desert ambiance up.
Ambiance.
Yes.
Ambiance.
Ambience.
Ambience.
All right.
By
Here we
desert
go.
ambiance, he meant just a rude sandstorm.
Yes, basically. So.
Oh, yes, killed tiger already.
Oh man. So we are since this is a new campaign, we have to set the scene as always. We focus in on the desert nation of Numeria, the land of the fallen stars, where thousands of years ago, flaming balls of debris, meteors from the dark of space came hurtling down, crashing with the land and depositing their contents, leaving metal ruins scarring the landscape. As the centuries went by, civilizations came as they do and built their way on top of these ruins, and Numeria's thriving population grew up in the sands and the plains of this harsh, harsh place. Numeria is a country populated on one side by traders, merchants, and settlers looking to establish their foothold, their cities, their walls, and their way of life, pulling metal and scrap, technological wonders and other things from the ruins beneath the sands, and selling them far and wide across the continent. On the other hand, we have the Kellid barbarians, traditionalists, harsh peoples bitten by the sands and the storms and abhorring all that is technological, considering it an abomination unto nature. And it is sort of between the duality of these two cultures that we focus on the settlement, where we will be spending a little bit of time. We are making our way into the town of Torch, a trade hub sticking up like a sore thumb in the middle of the harsh Numerian plains, bitten by wind and harshed by sand, its primary driving feature being a giant purple bonfire that burns at the top of what has been called the Black Hill, a fire hot enough to melt even the hardest of the sky metals, these strange alloys that fell from the black of space and populate the ruins. And it is around this flame and this trade that Torch has prospered for hundreds of years until now. In the last 2 weeks, things have turned very, very strange, and tidings have turned very ill, as it seems the purple flame, the torch that gives this town its name, has gone out under mysterious circumstances. No one quite knows why, and no one has been able to find a source for it. But this is hopefully the goal of our players, our characters here, because on this particular day in Torch, things have been getting worse. The fire's absence has been leading to increased restlessness, and even more so since many popular members of the city, people who are well respected, well liked, have gone for their expeditions into the newly discovered caves under the Black Hill to try and find the source of this, the extinguished flame, and none have returned. And so in light of this, the town has offered a sizable bounty, a sizable chunk of gold, and possibly other things for the return of, at the very least, the corpse of the most notable missing councilman, Mr. Connor Bain, who's a well-liked figure in town. But that is all what is surrounding us. So why don't we center in? I'm going to ask each one of you to sort of tell me how today in Torch is going for you. It has been 3 days since the expedition with that Connor Bain led has gone missing, and it has been 2 days since the bounty was posted. So we're going to go around one by one and find out a little bit about your character. I want you to tell us a little bit about how your day goes and what leads you to the town hall where this bounty is instructing you to go. And we will start with Petra, but before I do that, I have to thank Carrick of the North for donating $12. Thank you, man. If you wanna start anyone out with some inspiration or anything else like that, just let me know. The list of all that stuff is right down below the stream. You can hit me up and whisper or whatever. But thank you so much, man. It is greatly appreciated. If you guys can throw some ED cheers, ED cheer in chat, raise those drinks for Carrick. That's our brand new emote, by the way. That just got approved yesterday.
And just hit my teeth.
Oh, don't do that. That's not how you drink.
That's just vigor.
It's warm up for Karak.
Exactly.
How's your fur water?
So Robin, why don't you tell us a little bit about your day?
Yes, so Robin has been running a store that buys scrap metal. She's been working there, or she's been running the store for the past 6 months or so, and the store actually belongs to one of Torch's sky metal smiths named Wendell, who's a big burly guy and really good-hearted, and since his living was based on using the torch in the center of the city to melt down sky metal and then do other things with that, he is positively distraught and freaking out because the torch is gone. And I guess for the first, I guess in the early morning, Robin is trying to calm him down and saying, maybe we can find a solution. Maybe somebody can find out about it. But I would say that when she hears that the beloved wizard, the town wizard, Connor Bain, has also gone missing, I think she would first stop by at his place to briefly speak to Val, his apprentice. We can do that now, we could do it later, but that is what she would want to do, because she knows the girl a little bit, and she can imagine that she's a little bit, maybe a lot upset that her teacher and adoptive father has gone missing.
So you would probably know that Val like Connor Bane isn't just a local wizard. He's actually just a smith. He dabbles in alchemy, but he also runs a local tavern called the Foundry. It is actually one of the more popular places in the town of Torch. However, you know that Val has pretty much shuttered this place in honor, out of respect for him, since he's been missing. He has a house nearby, very close to the tavern itself. So whether you would head there before heading to town hall is entirely up to you. But she's most likely in either the tavern itself or the foundry. Not the foundry, the actual forge that he has behind the tavern.
Maybe you can do that before we head out, because then I can perhaps take the others with me.
Okay, fair enough. So you want to go? So you make your way straight to the town hall.
Yeah.
Okay. So as she is heading there, absent a job, what are you doing, Quinn? What is your day like?
My day's not going so well, really, to tell you the truth. I'd much rather tell you about my yesterday, which is when I got into town. I live out on the waste, out in the desert. I collect scrap metal. I come into town maybe once, maybe twice a year, sell that scrap to the skysmiths here. A couple of years back, I met Robin. She's who I sell my scrap to, mostly because I trust her. She gives me a good price, it seems. Anyway, so I get into town yesterday, and the damn torch is gone out. I go to see Robin. She ain't buying no more. She ain't buying, I ain't making no money. It means it's going to be even harder to live out on the waste this year. So Robin and I, we go down to the tavern. Not to the foundry, because that's closed now. But we find another tavern, and we go there. And, we get into our cups, let's say. Now, like I said, I don't get into town very often, so even just a little bit's going to get Quinn pretty fucked up. I'm what you'd call a lightweight, really. And so, as we're getting more and more shit-faced.
You get shit-faced.
Well, yeah. That's a good question. Is Robin's really good at holding her drink, I guess?
She's
or at least
good.
Better than Quinn is?
She's good at pretending to drink, that she's drinking a lot of ale, but you have no idea how much he's really been drunk.
Nice. So, yeah, I'm drunk, and Robin seems like she's pretty tipsy, and we come up with this plan that her and I we're gonna go collect this bounty. We're gonna go get this torch relit because they've set a couple of parties to do it. Nobody's gotten it done yet, and we need that thing to survive. So, damn it, we're gonna do it.
All right. So yeah, you after a couple drinks in a less favored establishment of you two, you concoct this plan to go try your own hand, your own experience at solving this problem, possibly bringing back Connor's body and reopening your favorite tavern and getting your jobs back. So to the town hall it is with you guys. Before I move on, I want to thank Cerberus 290 and also Dante High Window for following. Welcome to the madness, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Bolus, what is your day like?
Oh, please call me Figboot. I do not go by my first name. Well, Figboot has been on a very long road, traveling for a very long time. with no food and he's kind of grumpy. And now that he's in town, he's first searched for a place to stay and a place to rest his old dwarven big feet. And now he actually found himself at the Ever Candle Inn, which is where he's kind of resting down for a while. And he heard so much about this town of Torch that it was amazing that there was this giant light that he should be looking for. But as soon as he came in yesterday, there's no light. What are they talking about? And then he hears from others around town that this light has only recently gone off, and it may have something to do with the technology that Figboot is looking for. So, looking at the notices posted around the inn, he would look around and possibly start heading over to the town hall and seeing what that bounty would be about.
All right. Sounds good. And of course, last but not least, Carrick. How is today going? Karak. How is today going for you?
It's going. That's all I can say. It's going. I get here, coming back from another contract, go to my blacksmith who makes all my shit, and the light goes out. The light's out. What am I supposed to do? Talk to my buddy here. Mentions the town hall. That's where I'm heading. Besides, if I ever want to put down this fucking axe and not fight anymore, it's gonna have to be by taking these bounties. So, another step towards better life. Gotta head to town hall.
All right. All right. Let me just arrive here at my notes. So all of you are making your way to the town hall, and along with maybe one or two other citizens, people in town who you possibly recognize. Some of you may not. There seems to be, including you, a few people who are here. Some of them are discussing the bounty. Some of them are kind of looking it over. But the town hall itself, the doors are open. Those of you who are local to Torch would know that they have a fairly open door policy. The town hall is more like run by like a council of elders kind of situation, and they all meet to do to have discussions and to work out plans and solve problems, but they also all disperse to do things on their own. You guys are kind of congregating around the entrance.
I lean on my quarterstaff and I just kind of look around grumpily at everyone.
I stare back grumpily at you.
So if I'm familiar with how things work here, then I would I know that who do I have to talk to say I'm going to do this, we're going to do this? Do I have to walk inside?
Yeah, you'd probably have to. I mean, there really isn't a clerk, so there's usually some counselors here, and you'd probably just talk to whoever is available. You're not sure exactly who, but you know most of them by name.
Okay.
So you might have a rapport with whoever you actually meet in here.
Yeah, I would walk inside and take Quinn with me if he still wants to.
Okay.
Basically, talk up the first person and ask, we're here for the bounty. Who do I have to talk to? My friend in here. My friend and I want to take care about it.
There's a man. He looks a little bit mousy. He's kind of in like a scribe's outfit. You think he's probably on loan from the library or something. But he's just sitting there kind of taking notes, and he says, "Oh yes, right through there. I think only Miss Fredert is in at the moment, but you're welcome to speak with her. She has no meetings or anything at present. Just the two of you."
For now, yes. Although there are more people outside, so I can't speak for them.
He kind of leans his head out. He like sees. to the rest of you guys outside. Will you be coming in, or should I just send them through?
What this gentleman means is anybody else interested in the bounty?
Well, hold on. I don't know if we need them or not. You and I have got this thing squarely handled. We don't need a bunch of hangers-on getting us killed down there.
At this point, I walk up. I look at him and go, "You think you're a fighter?" No, not with that accent, dear God. "You think you're a fighter? It's been 20 years in the fighting pits. Tell you what, I'll go with you. My fury and my axe are yours. Granted, one only lasts for about 3 minutes, but that's more than I bet you can."
I'm looking Karok up and down. I say, you look like you could handle yourself.
I wasn't necessarily talking about you, more about the old man over there.
Who you calling an old man?
You.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm not interested in the money. I would just like to see what sort of technology might be under this hill. I am a druid. Perhaps I could lend aid in that way if that means anything.
It does indeed, and your help would be appreciated, wouldn't it, Quinn?
I am Figboot.
As long as he doesn't get in my way and get me killed, I'm fine.
I ignore Quinn and nod at Figboot and say, nice meeting you, acquaintance. My name's Robin. And who would you be? And I look at Karok.
Hold on. Did he say his name's Figboot?
Figboot.
At this point, I'm looking down to see if he actually has anything in his shoe. You don't have enough room in there.
I kind of go down to my shoe and I kind of dip in. It's like boots. I dip into it and I pull out a very old, cracked, dried up fig.
No way!
Big boot.
Did it just got stuck down there and he never took it out? This is who I am now.
Not ask, it's just my name.
Well, that's quite practical.
My name's Karok, and it's not because I have a rock stuck anywhere.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yes,
Let's go
I
talk to
think.
the woman. And I asked the mousy guy again what the name of the official was that we have to talk, or where we can find her, what way we would have to go.
He says, Mrs. Fredert, is Councilwoman Fredert is just through those doors, and in the council chambers. She should have any information you have just before you leave. He's kind of he says, before you leave, I will need your names and possible next of kin.
Name's Robin Cassava. I run Wendell's store.
And who should I and he'll basically go to each one of you and just ask who you would want him to kind of notify if you don't return.
The name's Quinn. No next of kin.
I am Bolus Figboot. If something were to happen to me, you could notify the Ridge Park, outside the southeastern borders of Numeria.
No next of kin.
Very good, very good. Well, Councilwoman Fredert, it's just this way. And he kind of folds another paper over, and as you guys are kind of passing him, he says, next group? So you guys make your way.
Poor thing.
You guys make your way through the chambers into the large council room. It's got a big meeting table with a couple chairs around. There's a big kind of dais at the top, at the far end, that look with a podium. It's your average kind of small town council chamber. You see basically someone who, Petra, you are very familiar, or Robin, you're very familiar with her. Is an old dwarven woman named Dolga Fredert. She is one of the councilwomen.
Could you spell that? I've heard it several times now, and I still have no idea what.
Freddert.
Okay, I wasn't too far off. Freddert.
Yeah.
Got it.
She's just kind of sitting there in a chair, just kind of like her arm is leaning up on the like the butt end of a very hefty like warhammer that's just kind of leaning against her chair. She's a venerable old dwarven woman, but she still has kind of a furrow in her brow, and you know she's sometimes a little bit grumpy. And she as she hears the door open, she says, "Yes, well, who's that? What do you want?"
And I peek and say, "You said she's a council member, right?"
Yes, councilwoman. Yeah.
Okay. Councilwoman Freddard, may we step in?
Of course. I trust you're here about the money, about the bounty. Will you be? Have you already left your names with Hazen out front?
We did.
Very good. Well, you know, I assume you know what you need to do. There are caves at the foot of the Black Hill. You'll need to go in and recover recover Councilman Bane's body, if possible.
2 parties went down there, yes, and they did not return.
Neither of them, no.
Is there anything you can tell us about them, their qualifications?
Well, in fact, there were 4 teams in all, but only one came back to report what they found. That was Connor's very first expedition in, and there really wasn't much to do at that point. He ventured in very, very small capacity. He came back, spoke at length, reporting what he saw to the council before heading back in. His claims were fairly outlandish, but we've come to believe they are true. The first team after him was a group of halfling adventurers. The second was a local group of thugs, and the fourth was a small party of worshippers of the god Brig. For they came in from out of town. Connor's team took the third and the last expedition. And it was the last one that he went missing on.
I have a question. How do you know that this Connor is dead? You say bring his corpse. Why? How do we know he died?
Well, we don't, but if the fact that none of the expeditions have returned is anything to go by, then we have every reason to assume that perhaps he is dead. But, of course, as you can read the flyer, there is an increase in the reward if you can return him alive. We have set aside small funds for a resurrection ritual in the case that he is dead, but we are happy to pass on some of that to you if it's not necessary. Do you need do you have any questions? I can tell you just about anything you need to know about the job. Make sure you're all well informed and accounted for before you head out.
How many halflings were in that troop?
3, I think.
Okay. Sorry, the thought amuses me.
They were all stacked on top of each other in one big trench coat. I'd like to go back to those outlandish claims that you spoke of. What were they exactly?
Yes. What we have learned is that the caves are inhabited by several enormous vermin and other scavengers that live down there, along with some strange humanoids that appear to have the ability to blend into the shadows of the cave walls.
Of course.
We think there is also a nest of gremlins down there. Connor believed that this indicated a deeper connection into the Darklands below, but we don't have any immediate proof of that. More immediate interest was the discovery of a wall of solid metal deep in the caves. A wall of what he claimed to be a sky metal known as glausite. He said it was like the kind we mined from the hills and the surrounding plains, but it was formed into some sort of structure with doors. It was near one of these that Connor found. He found a broken automaton, which he brought back on his first expedition.
But no one was able to penetrate the technological barriers.
We don't know much about it. No one was able to get through it. Connor examined it himself, made notes, confirmed that it was the alloy glausite, and that one of the doors in the wall was locked tight, but the other was open. He had planned on exploring deeper beyond the door on his next expedition. We don't know if he made it that far, but if he did, it is possible that he ventured through and then was incapacitated on the other side.
Did Kona say anything about the temperatures down there? Anything that might be a problem for us?
Problem. I don't know what would be a problem for you. Obviously, there are dangerous creatures that have been sighted down there. Also, you will have to swim down.
That, for example, is good to know.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you're lucky that we have quite a few religious folk in town who can provide you with the ability to breathe water.
Okay, good. I was wondering where you were going with that. I thought you were going to suggest religious people were going to teach me how to swim on a
No. We have
a very ad hoc basis.
No, Councilman Joram Kite will be more than happy to supply you with water breathing, such that you can swim down, though you will not be able to get it to come back. That will be entirely on you.
Excellent.
All right.
Not so excellent. I
Well-
don't know.
Sarcasm.
I don't know about you, but I don't know how to swim.
It's okay,
I'll
I
drag you
sink.
along.
I got you.
Yay, we'll both drown at the bottom of a mountain.
We'll get you out there. No worries.
I do have two more questions.
By all means, yes.
The first, what is your full name, dear?
Dolga Fredert.
And my second question, and I switched to Dwarvish.
Okay.
Are you taken?
Shit, I knew I should have taken Dwarvish. I took Elvish, damn it.
You don't speak Dwarvish?
No, I think I picked Elvish. Let me double check. I think so.
I speak Dwarvish, so I know exactly what's going down.
She kind of cocks a head to the side, and you can see almost like her brow furrows a little bit, and then you can almost see a very slight smile crease her craggy, wrinkled face as she says, I'm not as energetic as I used to be, but I can still swing this hammer. And she'll kind of like heft this giant warhammer and just kind of lean it on her shoulder, and she says, if you know what I mean.
And I'm still in
Nope.
Dwarvish. Still
Nope.
in Dwarvish, I say, well, you are a very beautiful dwarf, if I've ever seen one. Is there anything you would like me to bring you back from this expedition? I would be pleasured to do so.
I
You
shoot
get
Quinn a
what he
glance.
means.
I shoot Quinn a glance. Like, do you know what's going on there?
I know exactly what's going on.
Do I know more about it?
Birds do it, bees do it.
Okay, that's enough.
She'll kind of look at you. She says, right now I just want my councilman back. Anything else, we'll have to wait until these headaches have passed.
God damn it.
I will do my best, Dolga dear. I will do my best. And then I just kind of contentedly lean on my quarterstaff and look back at the rest of the group, and then say in common, "Well, are we going?"
I'm gonna, cause I can hear what they were. I can hear what
Yeah.
what Quinn and them were talking about. I'm like, is he going to get figgy with it?
No. I guess in response to your question, Fig Boot, I in Dwarvish say, "Let's go."
Damn.
He looks very embarrassedly at you, and yeah, that's it.
To break up the slightly awkward moment, Robin would say, actually, before we go, there's someone I would like to talk to. It's a young woman. She's close with the wizard. She might be able to give us some useful information. It won't take long, and you're welcome to join me.
Okay.
Is there a plan to resupply before we go on this mission?
Yeah, I was wondering if we already did that.
Dolga dear, where is this Joram kite you mentioned with those water-breathing potions?
She says, no, not potions. He will cast the spell on you.
Oh, beautiful. Where is he? Where can we find him?
She says, he will meet you at the cave entrance, or at the cave entrance on the water level. If you head down to where the lake forms, he'll be out on the dock.
Thank you, Dolga dear.
So she'll give you sort of directions to where he's gonna be stationed. So you guys, did you have any other questions you wanted to ask her before you leave? Any specifics, or Robin, did you want to take them over to the foundry?
Yeah, if everybody wants to join, or I don't know if maybe someone wants to go and get some supplies, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the general
I am
store.
broke.
Okay.
I will follow you, Quinn.
Give me 1 second.
So
Or the other one.
The Foundry Tavern. I'm trying to find exactly where it is here. There we go. Yeah, the Foundry is fairly close to like the general marketplace and all that stuff. The bazaar, where the trade caravans park. So you'll all sort of, if you're going to go shopping, you'll pretty much be heading in the same direction.
Okay, so then I can lead the others, and then...
Yeah.
So who goes shopping? Who comes with me?
I will come.
Sounds good.
I'll go for party solidity.
Okay. I mean, if you guys don't, if you want to, like, if you want to stock up on minor things like, minor essentials, traveling rations, any supplies like that, we can just assume you spend a couple minutes doing it. If there's anything specific that you want to find that you think might be a little bit more difficult, that you might have to go looking for. But if it's just basic provisions and tools and whatnot, that you can easily pick up on the way there via the marketplace.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for something specific.
Okay.
And go visit a friend that I have in town. A friend.
Okay.
Is he going to get figgy with it?
No, it's just that I've been here like 5 times, and so it's just somebody that I know that runs a shop. Like, Quinn's friends in town are people that he buys things from or sells things to once a year and then leaves without saying anything.
Chatty guy.
Super chatty. Yeah. Well, he's been a fucking hermit in the desert for like decades.
That'll do it.
All right.
Like people too.
So we'll say that you head off to your own sort of general store, which is not terribly far away. It's probably just a block or so over. But for the rest of you guys all make your way over towards the foundry. Let me grab my notes and just get over here.
Aye.
And I will, let me grab your tokens too while I'm at it. Copy. Okay. So you guys make your way over, and the foundry is, Robin, you probably would be the primary one who would know this, that the tavern itself is, here, I'm gonna put you, I gotta make you smaller. The tavern itself is one of the most popular locations in Torch. It is, sort of the rest spot for travelers weary from the desert. It is a place for budding technomancers, people who are studying technology, to share things, to be in company, this and that. But obviously the place is shut down. So when absent Quinn, who is going to be here, you guys are here.
Oh, there.
Basically, like, oh no, sorry, the front door to the tavern is right over here. So you're right outside, but the tavern itself is locked up. It seems to be dark. It doesn't look like there's a lot of activity going on here.
So there's basically nobody there. Everything's boarded up.
You could try peering in one of the windows. It's not boarded up. It's been closed for for the last couple days, which means obviously there's no people here. There's no one working here.
Yeah, I'll peek into one of the windows.
Okay. We'll say you make your way over here, and the window that you end up peering into is make sure you can see it. Yeah. The window that you peer into is sort of the nearest one, which is like the kitchen window. You can see there seems to be like faint embers smoldering in the hearth, as if someone has been here probably within about a day. But it looks like it looks like it hasn't been, it was just sort of let to burn down. It doesn't look like anyone's been through here in a while. There's stuff, there's obviously pots and pans that have not been disturbed, that are just kind of sitting. The place is dark. There's no real activity.
I'm looking at the other two, and I say, I'm not sure if she's in here. I'm going to try the private quarters instead. So I would... Did you say it's next to it, where they live, or where she lives?
Yeah, his actual house is literally the building just to the north of it. However, as you're kind of turning to the party and suggesting that you're gonna go look somewhere else, you hear a loud crashing sound of breaking wood and heavy thumping, followed by a shrill, kind of piercing scream of terror.
I immediately unsheath my axe.
Where is?
Raise up my quarters down.
I would know where the door is, right?
Can I get a perception check to hear that?
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Why can't I find my thing here? There we go. All right. So as you we'll say that you're probably not gonna hear that because it's fairly muffled. But we will get to you in just a second. What did you want? Oh yeah, you wanted to know where the door is. Literally right across the way. So it's just the front door is right over here.
Okay.
Where did we hear that sound coming from?
Oh, I saw the noise
probably within that building.
So within the other building, from across from us.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I would rush over there and see if the door is open.
Okay.
See if I can get in.
Yeah, you kind of run over, and you can move your token. By the way, you should have control over it. So you can run over to this door. The door is the white one. The blue ones are the windows.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. And you just push it open. It's not locked or anything. And you find yourself looking into a hallway. I will give you, we'll give you a torch so you can see what's going on. And as you kind of slam the door open, you hear another heavy crashing sound whatever is is banging around here is doing it like just beyond the wall, probably directly to your right.
Okay. So I step in and I call up, Val, is that you? Where are you?
I make way for Karak to go in.
I'm gonna follow suit.
I'm kind of confused here. Oh, there it's going on. Okay.
All right, so you guys make your way into the hallway here, and Robin, you're kind of like pressed up against this other door, and you can hear loud crashing sounds and things going on from just around the other side of this door.
Then I open that as well.
Okay, as you do, I'm gonna put this right here. As you do, you shove the door open, and you sort of look in. You kind of step through just in time to see this large figure. It looks what appears to be a giant metal form, probably about 6 feet tall or so, lumbering around on 3 kind of gated mechanical legs. Seems to be sort of slamming its way through the wooden wall here, and just smashing down like the inside of this house. It's like one of its hands smashes through a bookcase, the other one is kind of breaking through the floor, and as you kind of slam the door open, you see its kind of head turn to you with a whir. It's vaguely humanoid, but it has a single kind of glowing light right in the center of its face. It looks kind of like this, and it is sort of turning on its heels and making its way directly towards you. And as it does, we're gonna roll some initiative.
Also, I can't. I can't see it here on the map. Is Val also there?
She may be. You may not be able to see her right away. But we'll get there in just one second.
I think there's a wall, right? There's a little bit of.
Yeah, so this right here is an open room, and then this is another chamber. Okay, so get your initiatives in, and let's find some cool music here.
Where's my initiative? There it is.
Somebody marked down that 50 minutes into this campaign, I split the party.
And who wanted to go shopping?
Wrecked.
You guys are gonna be dead, and I'm just gonna be sitting around with all my fucking cool shit.
You got me.
The orc is the only one that I trust to like keep you guys alive.
Sounds about right.
All right, hold on. I can't find which one I wanted to use.
I just can't get this one question out of my head. What else could possibly be in his boot other than that dried up fig?
I still can't believe that there was a fucking fig in there. Like,
many secrets are
It was-
revealed.
it was like he had it planned.
Perhaps it's a delicacy for his clan that way they make it. You know.
Figs? Boot
Yeah,
figs
dried
are a
up-
Do you
delicacy.
realize what he could step in the forest?
Yuck! That's
Yeah, but
horrible.
that gives it its special aroma.
Yeah,
Don't you see?
you have to ferment it.
Dwarves
See?
are disgusting.
Ferment the fig in the boot.
In the
Fig.
boot. Oh, fig.
All right, everyone got their
Vader
initiatives
gross.
in.
So wait a minute, is fig boot like your like job? Like not a surname, it's like your title, like within the community. Like you're the guy who makes the fig boots.
No, the boot figs.
The boot fig, sorry, yes.
All right,
Everything makes so much more sense.
Hey Askren, do you want me rolling initiative or not?
not right now. We'll get you in, but
Didn't
you'll probably be
think so.
coming in at 0 if at all. All right,
worry.
so no, that's not
Have
gonna
fun
work.
storming the castle.
All right, so Robin, you were first through the door, so it looks like you're gonna get a jump on this thing as it's going down here. What do you want to do as you see this thing turn towards you and start, smashing furniture and stuff aside?
I cast sleep on it. See if that does anything.
Okay. Sleep. It has to roll a save, does it not? 31
Oh,
damage.
shit.
Oh, that's not the damage. That's the total hit dice of things you can affect.
Yeah. It's not the damage, but I couldn't change it. There's no. I didn't find another option.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
But no, basically, if there were a group, you would start with the creature with the lowest hit points and then use them up, basically.
Where the hell are... Okay, you kind of, so as you step through this door, you just kind of reach one of your hands forward, and this kind of pulsing bluish purple energy just kind of rolls off of you in waves. You just sort of push this pulse outward, attempting to kind of, you know, cover and smother this creature's mind and send it into unconsciousness. However, your wave of magic just rolls over it, and
well,
it does not even flinch.
Then as a bonus action, I'm drawing both my rapier and my scimitar.
Okay.
And hope for the best.
Do you wanna like step into the room, or do you wanna stay where you are?
Oh, right. I still have movement, right? So what is? Can I go there? I'm so sorry. I'm still a little bit confused. So
that is a room. Yeah, that is a room.
Okay.
But obviously, if you step into there, you are blocked off
Okay.
from the room where this thing is.
Yeah. But it came lumbering towards me, right?
It turned towards you. It hasn't really moved towards you yet, but...
Okay, then... So it's not attacking.
Well, its turn hasn't come up, so it hasn't gotten to you yet. It hasn't crossed the room to get to you.
No, I will take... I'm drawing my weapons, but I'm taking one step over here.
Okay.
So that if it attacks, we can attack it from two sides.
You got
If
it.
it comes flying up.
All right, so on its turn, it is going to charge 1, 2, 3, and it is going to come straight down this hallway, and it is going to lash out at Robin, because it has only seen you. Actually, nope, it's not going to do that. It is going to, basically, Robin... you are going to hear a loud crash on this wall right over here. Sorry, my mouse doesn't work very well. That wall right there, and so it is going to make a strength check.
Is it gonna Kool-Aid Man through this wall?
It looks, you can't really see it, but you hear kind of it pounding against the heavy timbers of this wall. It hasn't broken through yet, but you can tell that it probably has the strength to tear this place down, given enough time. So it is going to use its turn to basically attempt to smash through here. That is going to be
a speaker on its back that just jumps out.
Oh yeah!
Man, thank you for the host mantra, Vaughn. Fig Boot.
Fig Boot. He's gonna kind of stay back for now, and he's going to hold his action, and he wants to hold the Bomb of the Summer Court until either Karak or Robin takes damage.
Okay, so
he would spend that die to hit him.
All right, so as you kind of like you listen to the kind of crashing sounds around you, as the you kind of resonates with you a little bit. You just reach your hands out and they begin kind of like rippling with green energy. And as you just hold them there, you're just kind of waiting, like bated breath, for something to happen. All right, so you're gonna hold your action until someone takes damage. That means we're gonna move on to Karak, and Karak says, "Guess it's time to give that inspiration. Give it to Karak." So Karak, you have one inspiration stored away for you.
All right, so do me a favor. What is inspiration? Because this is my first run with you guys.
You can either use your inspiration to get a +1 to any d20 roll, or 1d8, I'm sorry. Sorry, I dropped my dice. To any d20 roll, or you can use it to basically give yourself advantage.
Give myself a what?
Advantage. You can roll twice or
okay.
take the higher.
Thank you.
But you have to
All right.
announce you're using it before you make the roll.
Yes. All right. So I hear this I hear the banging of the wall.
Yeah.
I see Robin duck into the room because there's the door right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't actually see anything. I think I'm in front of it.
Where are you? Sorry, I'm managing 100 things. Oh yeah, give me 1 second. You should have dark vision anyway, so let me give that to you. 60 and 0. There you go.
Thanks. All right, I'm gonna go into a rage.
Okay.
I am not gonna frenzy. No, I'm not gonna frenzy. I'm just gonna go ahead and go into a rage and roll to attack.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
I'm going to attack. I can't attack recklessly yet. Okay.
23 will absolutely hit.
Yes.
All right, for some slashing damage. So as you kind of barrel around this corner, you see this thing crashing through, and as you kind of, like, you bite the inside of your lip, you feel the blood and the coppery taste filling your mouth. As you're coming around the corner, you just swing around with your axe, and you whip it in a sideways motion. You cleave, like, right across the chest plate, whatever this thing is. You can see, like, bending some of the metal, joiners and kind of tearing through some of the wires and stuff that are holding this thing up, as it all of a sudden, like, the side that you hit, like, the arm begins to sag, and you kind of hear, like, like whirring sounds as it attempts to kind of move this arm, but it has been clearly damaged. As the thing kind of cranes its head around, that big kind of lighted eye looking directly at you. Anything else, or is that going to be the end of your turn?
That's it.
No
witty comeback yet.
All right. Bolus or Figboot, do you want to use your action now because we're getting to the bottom of the round? Doesn't look like anyone's been hurt. No. You already started channeling the spell, so.
Unless you want to heal the bot so I can beat it again.
Part of the balm of the summer court is it also gives them a speed increase.
Mm-hmm.
So, since I can see Robin, I'm going to cast that on Robin. And I'm going to use one of the d6s.
Okay.
And I'll roll that. Or do you want
nope,
to roll
it's all you.
Okay. Okay, so she regains 2 hit points, even though she didn't lose any.
Yeah.
And then
she's also going to get 1 temporary hit point.
1 temporary, and
a 5-foot speed. Yeah, 5-foot speed increase. All right, so nice. Robin, as you kind of duck behind this wall, you see him kind of reach out, and as the energy kind of transfers to you, you feel yourself just kind of like, you feel a little bit lighter on your feet. You feel a little bit more ready to kind of take this thing on, whatever it is. All right, switching back to the top of the round. Robin, what do you want to do?
I nodded at Bolus because I can tell that he did something, Figboot. Because I can tell that he did something positive to support me, so I just nodded him. And then I'm going in. So 5, 10. Am I able to squeeze by?
You can. You're going to take an attack of opportunity, though.
But, so I could attack from where I am right now?
I'll say you can.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going with a first attack using my rapier.
That's a nat 20. That'll do it.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Oh, I totally forgot. I don't have the die rolls on. Hold on, give me 1 second. Keep going. You had a second. Do you have a second attack?
Yes. I'm using the bonus action to attack.
Who nats?
With a scimitar. And then since Karak is right next to me, I get sneak attack. Where is it? Hold on. I put sneak attack in my right next to my in my spell book, just so that I have it there.
Okay.
Holy frack.
All right.
Okay,
so
now something's
You know-
loaded now.
You know what that means, guys. Like, when it really counts, when we're surrounded, I'll be
Yeah, you gotta
only
do
rolling
shit.
once.
Yep.
Of course.
all right.
Yeah, it's gonna come back to bite you.
All right. So what is so the 14 will also hit. So what's your total damage?
19, 30, 35. Right?
35.
20, 30, 35, yeah.
How do you want to do this?
I would say with a rapier, very precise thrust into, I don't know, wherever I can see a gap, so sort of where I can get an idea where, maybe where I can already see some cables or something like that, I would just stick it in there. And then I kind of feel bad for the robot, but could I behead it, sort of do a thrust and then follow up with a rapier and...
Yeah, you. So as you kind of see Karak kind of with the axe
scimitar, I mean.
still buried in this thing, kind of wrenching it out. You sort of, kind of using that little speed boost. You kind of launch yourself a little bit in the air, and you come down with your rapier, just jamming it right down between the neck joints and all the kind of mechanics that are twisting and turning its head. And you stab straight down into the heart of this thing. As you see, kind of like spurts of black, oily fluid and kind of leaking of hydraulic steam and this and that. As you twist and sort of force your rapier out with another, you just come down with the scimitar and you just slice through the last of those tubes that are attaching this thing's head. And as you kind of land on your feet, there's a sort of a shower of sparks and a heavy as this giant sort of metal skull just slams into the ground and rolls to a stop at your feet.
Well, that was, something.
I hit it once.
I go up to the rest of the group and immediately try to start brushing past them to see and
Yeah, I'm doing
inspect
this.
the
Walk over there.
robot.
Okay.
And I actually remember the screams. I'm going to... Val, are you in here? It's me, Robin.
All right. Give me 1 second.
I start investigating the robot or the machine.
All right. So as you guys are sort of coming to a quiet stop, your momentum kind of, bleeding away from you, and you regain your breath. You look around. Robin, you start calling out, and you hear kind of a faint kind of squeaking voice. It sounds like it's coming from under a pile of rubble in the corner of the room. You hear, who's there? Are you here to help? Is that thing gone?
It's all good now. You can come out. Where are you?
I'm-
Let's see.
It's coming from one of the corners of the room. You see there's like a smashed over bookshelf. All the books and stuff are scattered around, and you just kind of help shove some of these timbers off, and you see the timbers weren't she's kind of like this very small blonde girl with sort of paint markings on her face is huddled under an end table that this bookcase came down upon, so she's just kind of under the table with the rubble around her. And she's just kind of looking up at you, shaking very very nervously.
I'm gonna kneel down next to her and I say, "Hey, kiddo, what happened? Are you alright?"
She kind of slowly nods. She says, "Yeah, I think so. Sorry, hold on.
Are you hurt anywhere? You think you're okay?"
Give me a second. I'm just grabbing the face for you guys. I thought I had it, but I don't. There we are. She says, no, I think I'm all right. That thing was that thing that Connor brought back.
I figured why was it activated? Did you do anything with it?
No, no. I didn't touch it. I've been cleaning, and I've been just keeping the bar in good shape.
And I'm trying to help her up, sort
Yeah.
of brushing some of the rubble or the debris from her.
Yeah, she kind of looks. She says, I'm sorry, Robin. Do you think that do you think that he's gonna be mad at me for
Hey,
is
hey, hey. It's all good. I'm putting a hand on her shoulder. It'll be fine. I don't think he'll be mad. Well, so it just started to rampage out of a sudden.
I heard a noise, and then I came in to check, and that thing just came crashing through the room. It was she kind of points to the room that you were kind of ducking in a second ago, and she says, he kept it in there. It was pretty well locked up for since he brought it back, but I guess it just got out. I don't know.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't think he will be mad at you. You did nothing wrong. I'm just glad you're doing okay. Actually, I wanted to see how you're holding up.
Oh, I'm good. I'm sorry I don't have nicer accommodations. The tavern's not really open right now.
Don't worry about that either. I just came, and by the way, these here are my companions. This is Karok, and this
I am Bolus Figboot.
that is he. And together with another man, we're going to go down into the caves, see if we can find out anything. See if we can find Connor.
Oh, that's good. I hope you bring him back safe.
I hope so too. Now, tell me about when he left. Did he tell you anything about his expedition? Anything? What he was going to do down there? It might not have seemed important at the time being, but anything he might have told you could turn out to be helpful for us.
Give me 1 second here. She says, no. I've just been here. It's he. I haven't really learned much from him yet. It's not really. I don't know. I just know the last time I saw him was when he brought that thing back.
When he went down the second time, did you see what he took with him? What kind of equipment he had on him? Something we might recognize when we're down there.
He had a pack. Trying to remember what might have been in it. She says, he has a torch. It's magical. It doesn't really stop. It doesn't go out. The fire's it's magic, but the light is blue. He uses it because it's he kind of made it, but he uses it when he's going on expeditions sometimes. I think you should be able to locate to spot that. I don't know.
That is good.
It's the one we had earlier, kid.
As you're talking with her, Figboot, you wanted to investigate this automaton for anything? What are you looking for?
I'm trying to. First of all, I'm going to look at the head and see if it's still functioning after being decapitated.
No, the light that was in this glass eye thing is gone out.
Okay. I in particular, I'd like to look for some sort of like what I might perceive as what like controls this thing. I would guess that would be in the head. How big is the head?
It's about the size of a decent, like it's a decent sized person, maybe a little bit bigger.
Like a like a person's head, or like the size of a person?
No, it's a person's head.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
No, the head is not like
the
6
size-
feet tall. No,
Okay. If I tried to lift it up, how heavy would it be?
no. Probably about 20 pounds,
Okay.
maybe a little less.
I kind of look over at the young girl and I say, would it be all right to store this back in that room? I think it's done for now. Perhaps we can investigate the remains more later.
Oh, are you, I thought you were talking to one of the party members. You're talking to her?
No.
To,
Yes.
to Val? She says, yeah, of course, if it's, I hope it doesn't activate again. It doesn't do that.
I think it's done. You will be fine. I wouldn't suggest staying here, though.
Of course.
Yes, I
Connor-
was going to say, Val, if you don't feel safe here, Wendell told me you can go see him at any time if you want to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You said you were going down into the caves. Did you need anything from me?
No, just a question I just asked you. I thought that you might have seen something, and for example, the information with a torch might be helpful to us. So, you're doing good, kid.
She kind of puts her hand on your shoulder. She says, you know, I know there are a few people have a few people have gone down into those caves and haven't really come back. So, if you're gonna go down in there, just you should probably you should probably, like, when you're feeling tired or something, stop and come back out. That way you don't end up like them and get stuck down there.
I promise we will be careful, okay?
Okay, just
And I give her a hug.
yeah, she'll embrace you pretty tightly, and she says, you can stay in the tavern if you need a place to sleep.
I look at the others and say, I'm not sure if we were going to rest before we're heading out. I think the plan was...
when you come back,
Oh, I see.
because you're gonna come back and then be safe, right?
Thank you for the offer. We would definitely like to stay at the inn when we come back. And I sort of pat her head.
All right.
Wait, how old is she? Because I remember she told me that she was like 16
She's
or so,
like
but it doesn't...
she's like 15 or 16, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so as this is going on, we will assume that Quinn will probably have joined the group in just a bit. But Quinn, you here, let me turn this down. You rather than go with them, you actually went to sorry. You went to the marketplace to visit your friend, your local shop, the place where you kind of buy and sell some of your goods, and that's what I don't want that to be on. So as you're making your way to the shop, you know, like it's kind of, there's a little bit of activity. You can tell that this sort of bounty, now that it's spread, has attracted a little bit of commerce and stuff in town, even though even though people are not feeling great, there are some new arrivals to town, and commerce is not doing horribly. It looks like the regular smiths and stuff are still doing their work, and the people who have any sort of sky metals parts to sell are probably in the process of jacking up their prices as we speak. But you kind of mill your way through this crowd to your one and only favorite shop here, and to the general store. You push your way through kind of these sort of swinging double doors and inside, and you see this shorter, sort of slender, elf-looking woman who, very pale skin, is just kind of leaning on the counter, idly talking to another woman.
Okay, so there's another person in the store then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is going to be terribly uneventful in comparison to the robot fight. As I'm literally just here to buy some shit. But I'm going to go up to the counter. What time of day is it?
It's like noon.
Noon. Okay. Good afternoon, Tulura.
She kind of leans on her hand and kind of cocks her head lazily towards you. She says, "Oh, hello. Are you back in town?"
I am. I was curious about whether or not you still were selling that same blend of pipeweed that you've had before. I come here specifically because Tulura, she has like an elven blend that she carries that nobody else like has access to, and that's like what Quinn likes to smoke the most. Like he's just out because it's been like a year since he was here last, but normally he's always smoking a pipe. So I'm here to resupply on that as well as other supplies, but that's going to be like kind of her specialty item and why Quinn always visits the store when he's in town.
Yeah, she kind of gives you like a lazy look, and she says, "Well, we've had a bit of a demand. It's one of the only things that seems to cure the problems of these headaches that have been going around town. So
you're not the first person to mention headaches. What's going on?"
"It's nothing special, ever since the torch has gone out. People are complaining of these strange headaches that just won't go away. Some of them turn to indulgences. Smoke is one thing that seems to numb it."
Interesting. So do you have it or not?
"I have some." She kind of looks you up and down. She says, "You don't look dirty enough to have just come in from a salvage. You've been here for a few days."
I'm like literally like covered in dirt. Like,
well, you've been here for a few days. It probably doesn't look like you just literally blew in this morning.
No, but I mean, Quinn doesn't. He's not very diligent about his personal hygiene, and so I mean, I highly doubt that he's had time to like take a bath or anything. Like
no,
that.
no,
So,
but
he's still like dirty.
Yeah,
but yeah, his like
marginally less so.
Yeah, his like ratty old, worn out like Obi-Wan Kenobi cloak poncho thing is probably been like dusted out since he got into town. But like his face is still dirty, although he is like freshly shaven. Like,
yeah,
perfectly immaculately shaven. But besides that, he definitely looks dirty. But she might have seen me even dirtier last time I was here.
Yeah, she's just she says, are you leaving sometime soon?"
Well, you could say that. I'll still be in town, but I'll be under it.
"A bounty hunter now, are you?"
Anything to pay the bills while nobody's buying scrap.
"I have a proposition. Would you like to do me a favor?"
Depends on what it is. Let's hear it.
She says, I wouldn't mind investing some of your habit in exchange for you bringing me back something."
What do you need brought back?
I don't know. I hear there are strange things down in those caves. Rumors circulate. If there's something worth having.
I take a long look around the shop and see like all of Tellura's like statuettes and like paintings that she has on the wall, and she's got like all these like really immaculate carvings and like pottery just everywhere. None of it's for sale. It's just her personal like art collection that she has. And I kind of look at all of her stuff and I go, understood. I can find you something, I'm sure.
She says, I haven't yet found anything that glows. I'd love a nice lamp, if you know what I mean.
I'm not really sure what lamp means.
I mean, you know what an oil lamp, like a lantern and an oil lamp is, like.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
What
then
is
in
a
that
lamp?
case, what is lamp?
What is lamp?
I love lamp. Sure.
It is no fig boot, it is a lamp.
She kind of
lamps
like
for you.
reaches under the table and pulls out like a small like leather satchel with kind of looped edges. She says, "So do we have a deal?"
I reach a hand across the counter and say, "We have an accord."
Very good. I trust you won't disappoint. And she'll kind of push it into your hand.
Okay, so I
will say
I take the
we'll say just
I take
as
the tobacco from her.
yeah, just as you're kind of taking this out of her hand, you kind of hear like muffled crashing and loud sounds coming from just a block or so away. It sounds like a house is being torn down.
Okay. So yeah, I grab the tobacco from her, start packing my pipe and I light it up, and then that's when I start hearing like the crashing sounds and shit. And I very, very quickly I grab like a big spool of rope and like some climbing gear, like a crowbar and a hammer like off of the shelves, and I just throw like what gold I have on the counter and like book it out of the store.
And so as you rush over to the site of the sounds, I want to thank Kem Laird and Pottymouth Gamer 2012 and John Soki for following. Welcome to the madness, my friends. Thank you for joining us. So you will, in short shrift, kind of rejoin the rest of the group as they're kind of making their way. I think probably making their way out of the partial wreckage of this house, out into daylight, where you can kind of reconvene with them. I guess Figboot is probably holding this metal head under his arm.
Okay, so I round the corner and like damn near run into Karak. And I've just got like a big bound of like rope around like one arm. And
We're all just carrying stuff.
I've got like another like handful of like goods because I've like come running over. I almost run into Karak and like stop like dead, and then I look at Robin. What the hell happened?
And I point at the hat in Figboot's hands. Thing went berserk inside there, and we took care of it.
This is just the head. There is more to it. It was not just this tiny thing.
I step away for 10 minutes, and you find an automaton.
Pretty much, you missed out.
It's the one that Connor brought back from his first expedition into the caves. And we met his apprentice. She has no idea what made it go active all of a sudden, but it's pretty much dead now.
I reach out without asking and try and take the robot head from Figboot.
You can't just touch another man's head, dude.
He recoils against you. No, it is mine. For now. Why do you need it?
Figboot, where are you going to leave this hat? It will probably a little bit cumbersome if you want to take it with you.
In my room at the inn.
All right.
I wouldn't expect you to know this, but I'm fairly knowledgeable about those things. Let me take a look at it.
He begrudgingly, slowly.
Why don't we stop
it over to you.
at an inn? Everybody together, we can take a bite. You can both look at the hat, and then we can get going.
Okay.
I like
I
that
shoot.
idea.
I shoot Robin a glare.
She ignores him.
Karak just follows everybody, curious why they go to sign up for an adventure
Touching
and they don't have all
Don't
this
go.
shit ready to
And then-
begin with.
Yeah, and then don't go. Well, we're gonna hang out in town for a day.
So what is your plan, guys?
We
What do you guys
can
want to do?
Shorthand that.
Apparently, we're gonna go get a bite to eat.
We can just.
There's a food truck
summarize
nearby.
that. We don't have to. Yeah, that's good. Tacos for everybody. And the man can touch the robot hat, and we can get some. Karak and I get some food.
All right. So we'll say you guys kind of you
I
kind
just
of
want to do a tech roll on this robot head and see if I can get the light to or the eyeball to light up again.
you are
That might take a little while.
you are almost positive that like it's unless you connect this to some sort of power source, you probably won't. It's probably not going to do much. The power source is not internal to the head itself, so you find you can identify the main connection, but you don't have a power source to actually connect it to.
Okay, so yeah, like I've taken the head and I have like some small tools that I'm poking around inside of it, and nothing's working, and so I just shove the head back to Fig Boot, and I say, "When you find a lamp, let me know."
Okay. Assuming that we went back to my Fig Boot, got a small room in the Ever Candle Inn. So assuming that we're back there, we could get a bite to eat, and then he would put down his robot head in his room.
And then
Okay.
we start.
I'm positive we said we were going to a food truck and not to the Candle Inn, but you know, whatever.
I take both.
Same thing.
It's fine.
All right. So you guys, it's night is beginning. It's getting later in the afternoon. Evening is beginning to fall, and you're kind of arranged to meet Joram Kite, one of the sort of wizards and also the town councilman, on the dock in front of this lake where he was to sort of give you your directions into the caves under the Black Hill. So
Poor fuck's been waiting here all day long for
Yeah, I
us.
completely forgot about him. We've got our shit together, guys.
Yeah.
This
Hey,
is
at least-
gonna go
Stay
great.
warm. We're good.
all right. You are you guys are kind of where are we? You make your way over to this this little lake in the middle of town. Let me move the page here. No, come on, stupid mouse. You make your way over to this lake and you find this sort of old elven man, wizened elven man who's kind of just sitting there reading on a chair, fairly impatiently. He doesn't really take any notice of you as you guys walk up the dock towards him. He's just kind of sitting there reading.
I probably know him, right?
You said
So
he's an
from-
elf.
Yeah, he is an elf. Yeah, you know him in passing. He's a fairly reclusive guy. Kind of keeps to himself a little bit.
I give him a really fucking dirty look.
And I step in
as soon as we
between.
get there.
Okay.
So I step in between nonchalantly, and I say, Councilman Kite, my apologies for making you wait for a while, but we were held up at Connor's place. It seems that
He said he slams his book closed, says, "Oh, hello," touches your shoulder, and as you see a kind of a blue glow kind of passes from his hands, and you feel
okay, I
you feel
guess
yourself
we're going
being a
just
little bit
right up. Thank you.
like you feel your lungs just coat with this kind of cold feeling, and then he
He's
says,
just on autopilot.
he says, "You're all set."
He's like, I've been waiting here for 8 hours for you assholes. Here's your spells. Go away.
I
My
didn't
dinner's
get
cold.
touched. I need this water, whatever magic. I didn't.
No,
get
it's
touched.
split
You need to-
between all of you already.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't have to get touched by a filthy elf.
I shoot him a look.
He looks quite clean. I'm not sure what the problem is here.
Oh, that was out of character. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell the difference.
Oh, that was in my head.
So he's just kind of standing there, like book tucked under his arm. He says, "Well, what are you waiting for? Get in the water."
It is pretty
can you-
late.
What?
What?
He said it's kind of late.
It is kind of late. Why would we go out into this cave when we
Can-
are very tired?
It's a cave. It's
Can I
underground.
can
There's
I
no
pick up
sun.
Fig Boots and
No,
just
what
toss
if we
him?
need to sleep?
Yes.
Are we going to sleep in the cave? Didn't the young girl suggest that we not sleep down in the cave?
I'm going to physically pick up Fig Boot and throw him into the water.
Okay.
Joram is just kind of like looking at you all impatiently. He says, "Well, do you
Can you give us any kind of directions? Is it just down, or do we have to take any turns? Do you know?
Oh shit, can he swim, guys?
We'll find out.
I don't know. He's a dwarf. My guess is no, but
But it doesn't matter. You can breathe on the water, so.
He says, "Yes, over there, about 100 yards down into the lake, there is a cave. You swim through the hole, you come up into the air. It's very simple as far as I understand. Do you need anything else before I go home?"
no.
I don't think so.
I guess I jump in to the wrong side of the lake where Fig Boot was thrown in, so that I can help him try and make his way to the other end of the lake where the entrance is.
It's not really on the other end of the lake. It's more like if you swim along, like the dock juts out and there's a rock wall kind of curving away from it. So if you swim along the wall, you'll probably be able to find it.
Well, either way, he doesn't know that information, so I'm gonna go make sure that Fig Boot can find his way. So I guess I jump in the lake.
By the way, DM, us being at the inn, would that count as a short rest?
Yeah, you guys can take whatever rest you needed.
We haven't done anything! What are we...
No. What we already did. Basically,
They
we can
use
count that
spells.
as a short, as a short
Okay.
rest.
They want their spells back.
I want my space back. I don't have that many. And before Robin jumps in, I actually cast light on. Let me double check. So it's night. So I assume that once we're going to be in the water, it's going to be pitch black.
Possibly. I mean, it's yeah.
And then we're gonna be in a cave.
Then I'm going to cast light on sort of the chest piece of my leather armor.
Okay.
And then jump in and try to follow the direction that Kite gave us.
All right.
Damn it! Why didn't I think about casting light on that robot head and then pawning it off on her? Shit. I would have been
will-
underground or dead by the time she figured out it was just a spell.
I will dutifully follow.
All right. Give me one second. Here we go.
Big Boot is just kind of flailing in the water, and then he just stops and looks up at Karak very angrily.
You were already grumpy to begin with. This isn't much of a change.
This is a very grumpy party.
I thought he's already underwater. Oh, is it
We
just?
are.
Can we
I'm
speak
assuming we
underwater?
can talk down here. We've got bubbles around our heads, right? Or
No, you have water breathing. You still can't really talk underwater. You just can breathe water as if it were air.
So Robin is using hand signs, trying to get everybody to follow her into, sort of directing her into the right direction. Hopefully.
Yeah, you can fairly easily. I mean, once you're in the water, you're kind of like splashing around, just kind of looking for it. But once you light it up, you're able to kind of swim down just a little bit, and you see that there seems to be sort of a darker section where the wall actually kind of dips inwards. And as you guide the you guide the party in that direction, eventually you guys will find the sort of what must be the entrance to this cave. Let me copy your tokens real quick. So that must be that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. And so you are here. as I move you to the map. You guys are here. All right.
Cool.
Okay.
So, Robin, you were sort of up. You are up front. Kind of you have to sort of tread water, but you are definitely you have to swim down sort of into the entrance of this cave.
Okay.
Why is my token upside down?
Because you made it upside down before.
Because I made it upside down.
There. Now it's right side up.
Thank you.
All right.
You can't swim properly. That is what it is.
Well, that's true. Quinn. I've decided Quinn cannot swim. I don't see a point in his life where he would have come across a place to go swimming.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do?
I guess,
Continue.
yeah,
All
go
right.
into the cave.
You have control over your tokens. You don't
Cool.
need me to move them for you.
All right.
Swim, swim,
Robin, do you
swim.
want to take the lead, or do you want me to take? I guess you know how to swim, so you probably should take the lead.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, we can. Like you can make hand signs. We can't speak, but you probably going to do something like that. Something that nobody understands.
Okay. I just wasn't sure which one of us should be in front, but I think while we're underwater, it probably should be you.
Okay. So, Robin, as you're kind of pushing your way through the water fairly easily, since you can breathe, you actually see sort of the water resolving into surface above your head as you continue swimming down this tunnel.
Okay.
All right. And eventually, you will kind of, as you break the surface, you find yourself sort of in an open cavern. There's sort of a dampness that hangs in the air above this cave, condensing into sort of a thick moisture on these slick stone walls. The calm and dark waters that you kind of swam through seem to continue in a much more shallow pool. Winding up to the northeast, along what looks like a stony, kind of soot-scarred beach. At the back of the beach, you can see there is a 5-foot-high ledge that is topped by several stalagmites rising in the eastern direction, beyond which you can just make out a low-ceilinged cavern. You also, as you emerge out of the water, why can I not find it? My notes here. This is the one. You are this air. The air in this cavern is foul smelling. It's not pleasant at all. And you can sort of see these strange things that are lying on the beach itself. As you emerge from the water and your eyes kind of adjust to the darkness in here. They look to be these sort of upturned corpses of very large beetles.
Huh. I would go to take a closer look.
Yeah, me
is
too.
Is that a creature that I would be familiar with?
Not familiar with the beetles.
You can roll me a nature check.
Alrighty. Nature, what is it there? Apparently not.
I got a 16.
All right. Quinn, your best guess is that these are, like, judging by the kind of red shimmering color of their carapace, you've seen these once or twice before out in the desert. You think they might be some sort of fire beetle. Just fairly nasty creatures that burrow in very large groups. You can see about 6 or 7 corpses that are just kind of scattered on this beach.
Can I get a quick investigate check on them as well to try and determine how they died? I got a 19.
Yeah.
Do I see any like apparent wounds or anything?
Yeah. The first thing you notice is that there are sort of the tracks of a few people that are kind of milling around the bodies themselves. It looks like most of these beetles have been either smashed or stabbed to death. So it looks like there was probably a fight here.
At one point, I think that these were fire beetles.
How would they have gotten down here?
They tend to burrow. It's very well that they had been living here previously and came up out of the sand when the previous parties came through the area. Most of them have been either smashed or stabbed, and very likely other individuals down here.
Well, maybe the previous parties, they could have run into them.
If that's so, we lucked out because these things can be pretty nasty.
Well,
They're kind of cute.
I like kick one of the like smashed skeletons and I'm like, sure, they're good eats at least.
I'm trying
so
to
is there-
imagine that halfling party fighting these.
They probably did. They probably didn't. I'm sure that when they said that thugs came down here before the halflings, right?
No, halflings first, then thugs.
No.
is there anything else on the beach aside from the beetle carcasses?
Once you've kind of spotted the footsteps, it's fair, like the footprints around here, you can kind of make out that some of them went towards the water to the northeast. Some of them seem to go towards the little cliff with the stalactites on it.
So this is basically where Quinn is right now. Can we
Oh, yeah.
get just
So
up
if you-
there? You said a cliff.
Yeah, Quinn, did you actually want to climb up there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not particularly hard to do, but it does take a little effort because the dirt is kind of the rock and the dirt is slick and clumpy. But eventually you can haul yourself up onto the top of this little cliff, and you find yourself looking into. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know why. I accidentally gave you an angle sight, and I shouldn't have. There you go. There you go. You find yourself looking into a cavern. It looks like a collection of stalactites and stalagmites choke this low-ceilinged cavern, making it very difficult to squeeze between them. You can see matching stalactites close in from sort of the 5-foot-high ceiling, giving the impression of almost like a toothed maw bearing down on itself. You can actually see something sort of slumped down near the eastern exit of this cave, but it's a little bit dark, so you can't really make out exactly what it is.
Fuck. Can I stealth down the hallway?
Yes, it is going to be, you are going to have to, like, crouch down and kind of squeeze your way through this, so it is going to be fairly difficult terrain. But I will let you make a stealth check if you want to go ahead.
So to that point, underground is my favored terrain, and I believe that I ignore all difficult terrain in my favored area.
I don't know if that's true, but I will check. I'm pretty sure favored terrain is...
But you have to be in there for an hour or more.
Yeah, it doesn't slow your group's travel, but for this particular part, you're gonna have to squeeze through there just to get figure out the way
tried.
through. You could, in theory, I'd let you spend some time to find a way through that, like a pathway
no,
through.
it's okay. I just wanted to get out of the more
No.
difficult. I will go ahead and stealth for 16.
Okay. As you very, very slowly kind of pick your way through these stone kind of columns toward deeper into the into this place, you come to about here, about the center, and you can just barely make out. Here, hold on. I'm gonna sort of move Robin here so her light can kind of help you out a little bit. You can just make out that the thing slumped over at the exit of this cavern appears to be a body, and it is like face down in the dirt. It appears to be a fairly large corpse too.
Okay.
At this point, I would probably try to not really call out, but be like, Quinn, what's going on there?
I'm gonna like shit. What would be a good hand signal for this? I don't know one. So Quinn's just gonna turn around and like try to like look at her and like put his like finger up, like shut the hell up, hold on. And I wanna keep sneaking, like being cautious about it, but I wanna get up on that body and see if it's dead. Like
Okay. Yeah, you can slowly sort of make your way over to
I knew it was bad as soon as I said it.
You can slowly make your way over to this this body, and as you do, you can fairly readily see it appears to be a half-orc female, lying like face down in the dirt.
Okay, then I turn back to the party, and I say to Robin, "It's okay to come forward. There's a dead body up here."
I mean, do we agree that we're going to proceed this way, right? I mean, I don't know where the water leads up there, but
Is that a dead end, Quinn?
I don't know. Is it Askren?
You don't? Oh, you do have dark vision.
Am I? Yeah, I have dark vision out to 60 feet.
Cool. There. Give me 1 second, and I'll give you some dark vision. You can actually see.
Oh, okay.
That no, this exits into a tunnel, a narrow but serviceable tunnel just past the body.
Yeah.
It's a dead end for the body.
The
Dun, 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 dun.
the path keeps going forward. Do you want to look for another entrance?
we might start as well with this one.
I don't like water, so this is our best bet, I suppose.
For once, I'm with the dwarf.
Yes, I'm trying to pull myself up there. What would you like to roll me? Is it athletics?
What do you want to do?
I also want to pull myself up there on the ledge.
It's not that hard. You can kind of, with a little bit of effort, you can haul yourself up. I'm sure one of the people can easily give you a boost up, onto this ledge. It's only like
I got you.
Yeah, it's only like 5 feet high.
Okay.
All right. So
Good. Are you alright? Do you need a hand?
No, I don't need any help.
I'm gonna stick by and
Starts
help
trying
just in case.
Starts trying to climb up. It's a little bit difficult. Do I have to make any sort of roll for Fig Boot?
No, we'll say with it, you guys can all kind of pull yourself up with a little bit of effort. You guys can all haul yourself up onto this ledge. It is a really tight squeeze, especially for you, Karak. Kind of navigating this chamber.
Pull in your stomach.
I'm trying.
So, what about the body? I would assume that at this point I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I guess I could do an investigation check on this thing, huh?
I'm gonna do the same thing to see if it's somebody I know.
Okay.
I do want to.
Because you know all half-orcs.
Am I, bitch?
That's a stereotype. Quinn, we'll say all three of you probably know this person, but in passing, in different ways. Between the three of you, you can kind of determine that this is fairly. It's most obvious from a very distinctive scar on her face. This is Parda Gar, an orc named Parda Gar. She was a brawler in town. She got in, she basically fought for money and for, just drinks and just for fun. She was actually fairly well liked for a while, but you guys collectively, know that she fell in with a less than savory crowd. And that was, many people considered not a great turn for her.
This is unfortunate.
She's some sort of local criminal, right?
Criminal, probably not so much. Well, maybe she's gotten into crime. Yeah, she's probably gotten into crime recently, but she's less.
That was more a question to the group.
Oh, okay, yeah. Stipulate that next time.
I've got to differentiate, I guess, my character voice and my real voice.
Yeah. You guys also see that there are a series of wounds covering her body.
What kind of wounds?
Beetle bites or
No, some sort of puncture wounds.
Puncture.
Does it seem to come from an animal? Like 2 punctures next to each other?
Could I make a nature check to determine what sort of?
It would be a medicine check.
Oh, okay, I will do
Oh.
that.
Am I good at that?
Yeah,
I don't think
have
so.
that. I'm super good at medicine. Let me try
Oh,
that.
I suck at that. I'm not gonna do that.
Karak, you've seen these types of wounds many times before. These are stabs from a dagger.
Question: how far up are they on her body?
There's a decent chunk, so they're kind of all over.
They're not at halfling height though. Oh,
Exactly.
There are some that are on her.
halflings.
There are some that are on her stomach and legs, but there are also some wounds on her hands and upper
And don't forget
torso.
the halflings were stacked on each other.
Yeah.
oh, that's right. I
Yeah,
forgot they
that's
were
true.
in one
That's
big
true.
stack in a trench coat.
But yeah, she was definitely slain by multiple stab wounds from a short-bladed dagger.
Dagger wounds.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Robin would try to sort of position her in a slightly more. I mean, it's not comfortable. Doesn't matter for the body, but that it at least looks a little bit more comfortable, folding her hands over
Okay.
her chest and something like that.
Okay.
Quinn
thank
just
you.
just watches her and shakes his head.
Ignoring him.
Is there a problem?
No, I just don't understand it. She's dead. What's it matter?
I'm a fig boot.
Hello, Groot.
Shall we continue?
again?
I was about to say that. Quinn, do you want to take the lead? Or I can do that. I mean, I can if you would like me to check for traps in advance.
You know what? Actually, that might be a good idea.
Then I will do that.
Okay.
Do you want me to follow or pull up the rear?
You can follow, I think.
Okay, I'll take the rear then. So we do Robin, Karak, Fig Boot, Quinn
Oops.
for marching order.
Yeah.
Alright.
Light DM the light spell. It's for an hour, right? I think.
It's a concentration spell, so it'll last you a while. And I believe it's
I was gonna say it's a cantrip. Is it?
yeah, it's a cantrip, so you can just recast it whenever it goes.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay.
really matter.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
We
So you
shall
want to
continue.
go ahead and sort of examine for any traps, any signs, anything like that?
Yeah, I think at this point I'm not yet actively investigating, just keeping
Okay.
an eye open for anything that looks out of the normal of the order.
Yeah, absolutely. You as you emerge from this kind of narrow hallway out into this this kind of place where multiple paths cross, you can actually see directly across from you there is a dark cavern that opens up just ahead. It's got a sort of a 20-foot high ceiling that is thick with hanging stalactites. You can see, much like the one you came from, there's a rocky shore that overlooks a placid pool that seems to be fed by the lake that you came through. You can see you can hear sort of the trickle of water leaking down through the rocks into this place. You can also make out a small garden of toadstools and molds seems to grow along the banks here.
Yummy.
I was gonna say, Stu, do I hear anything coming from the right side? There seems to be a path.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Where is it? There it is.
As I'm coming out as well. Can
Yeah, I would let them know what I'm seeing so far.
You don't hear anything immediately. You see the path seems to continue down to the south, but there's really no indication of any activity in either direction.
Sorry, Tiger, you wanted to say something.
Oh no, I was just checking to see if we were stopping here, if we were gonna proceed forward. Because I'm sure I could see over your shoulder, because I'm very tall. To see that
Robin,
there's an out.
Speaking of
clearing.
which, we haven't done any character description. Maybe we can do that at some point later. But
I guess we
yes,
haven't done that, have we?
No, we did not.
Oh, funny.
But yes, you will probably be able. Robin is 6 foot tall, but so yeah, I would just inform
Taller.
them what I'm
not.
what I'm seeing, and I'm asking them, do you think we can continue? But it seems that we're just meeting up with the lake that we met before. But I mean, we can take a closer look.
Let me get some of those toadstools and mushrooms first, and then we can continue.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go take a look at those with Fig Boot because I'm curious if any of them are edible. I got a shitty ass 9 on my survival check, so I'm probably about to eat something poisonous.
That's fine. For the
I'm gonna
record, you guys don't need to roll anything unless I actually ask you to roll, because there's no point. Like, sometimes you won't even need to roll. You might not even need to. So just don't preemptive roll, because then I don't know what it was for. That's just
Okay.
it makes it hard to bookkeep. Okay, so you and Quinn are going to make your way over here to check out this these mushrooms and molds and stuff that are growing along the bank here.
Correct.
All right.
I'm specifically looking for edible ones. I don't know what Fig Boot's up to, but
I'm just trying to pick as many as I can.
Okay. What are you doing, Karak?
Waiting for them to hurry up.
Okay, you kind of cast a glance down at them as they're busy kind of scraping multicolored fungi and molds and stuff off the rocks here that seem to be fed by the lapping water and the mineral drip here. And as you just kind of languidly turn your head out to the pool that you're overlooking, you notice there actually seems to be something floating in it.
Can I roll a perception check?
To do what?
One, to make sure that is this the same lake or the water that we were just in? Pretty much.
I mean, it's similar in the sense that it probably came from the same source. Yeah, it's the.
Okay, then never mind. Can I just go out and check out the floating?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit farther than you can reach, but you could probably hook it with your axe.
In the meantime, I'm just keeping sort of watch at the other tunnel just to make sure if something starts moving in there somewhere where we can't really see it.
I'm gonna stop and watch Karak as she tries to retrieve this thing from the lake.
I am just continuing to intently gather fungus.
All right, so I'm gonna try to grab this body with the axe
Okay.
or whatever it is.
All right. So as you kind of reach out and you hook this thing with your axe, you guys are going to hear kind of a sort of a soft kind of splashing sound as this thing is pulled through the water. Karak, roll me a perception check.
I see almost all.
All right. As you're hooking this thing with your axe and you kind of pull it towards you, you just kind of look down and you just get a glimpse of something pale and very large moving just below the surface right behind this thing, and you just have enough time to kind of unhook your axe from this what appears to be a mangled body that you're dragging through the water and kind of take a step back as this thing is going to lurch out, basically out of the water on 2 large, heavy, kind of flabby, pale legs, and is going to lunge directly at you. And so that is right over here.
Fucking knew it.
Don't
Pretty
touch the water.
much.
So
It was just way too good of a spot for a jump scare.
And so as this happens, one second, should have had this opened. You guys hear a loud, just a kind of loud splashing, followed by something big, as this thing here is lurching out of the water. Nope. Come on.
Oh.
There we go. Directly at Karak.
Oh,
And-
fuck this shit.
Karak,
Yeah, cute.
it is going
Lovely.
to make a bite attack against you.
I bet it just wants to play.
1d.
Yeah. I fought worse.
Karak, it is going to make a bite attack against you for 14.
Our AC's higher.
What's up?
My AC's higher.
Okay, so you just managed to kind of step back and throw your axe between it as the sort of handle of your axe is going to lodge between this thing's jaws as you hold it back, but it is bearing down on you. And as it does, we are going to roll some initiative.
Boop, boop, boop. Let's get some shit.
Oh, I don't.
What?
Oh my god. Fig boot, my
That was
lad.
legitimate,
How
wow.
could you do that?
I mean, he's busy collecting mushrooms. I
Yeah,
don't
it
think we
makes
can
sense.
hold him accountable for that.
This is why I
He's
stopped
Buddhist.
picking mushrooms.
He's just like.
She threw me in the water. Let it happen.
Better die. My
I will
revenge will be
just, I will just be going this way now.
Oh, and this thing is going to get a nat 1 on that. So that is going to. Fig Boot, what'd you get? Oh, it's 0. Okay. So as we
Even with that.
start, if we haven't already, definitely get some ED20s in chat to for Robin's nat 20. You, Robin, you're kind of like watching down the hallway with your crossbow at the ready, and as you hear this loud kind of splashing and growling, followed by gnashing of teeth, you wheel around on your kind of heel in time to see this pale, like lumbering pale thing leap out of the water and attack Karak. What do you want to do?
Instead of using my hand crossbow, I'm going to hurl a what's it called? A chromatic orb at it. Is it
Okay.
still in the water?
It's like halfway out of the water at this point.
Okay, then I'm going with lightning damage.
Hey,
Okay.
hold on now. I'm attached to this.
Hold on.
You're fine.
Do I have to look up chromatic orb or can you link it? There we are. Okay. So does it have to make a save against that?
Oh, by the way, I don't know why it says 11. My spell DC is 14.
Okay, so it has to roll a save of 14? No, it says
No, it just
yeah, make
oh,
no,
no,
it says
it's 11
it
to
says
hit. Never mind.
yeah, it says make
11 to hit,
arranged
so never mind.
spell attack. Okay.
So it's 11. It's 11 to hit. Sorry.
You got it. Unfortunately, an 11 is not going to do it with this thing. Wow, I don't like this music. Hold on, let me find something better. Where did
I think
my
Big Boot's going crazy with this music over in the corner instead of helping out.
Music.
15.
why can't I find
20.
what I want here?
20. Sort of. 25. Okay, that's my movement, and then as a bonus action, I'm stowing away my hand crossbow, and I'm drawing my blades.
Okay, cool.
And that would be my turn.
All right, there we go. So you kind of fire the like as you charge up this kind of blue glowing sphere, you hurl it at this thing, but it just manages to kind of slip under the blast as you then kind of sling your crossbow over your back and draw your two swords and charge into battle. Karak, you are directly face to face with this thing as it is bearing
right.
down on you. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna put on my battle hat. Let's go. This is
Here we
the
go.
this is the frenzy hat.
All right.
So I'm gonna go into a rage, pop into a frenzy, because I'm a little angry. I'm all up, you know, she's all about trying to use her fury and rage as a tool. But if she gets surprised like this, it's not really gonna happen as easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll to hit. Now I don't get the bonus attack this turn, correct?
1 second. Which we rage? I don't think so. We're talking about regular
rage
rage.
is the bonus.
Regular,
The
yeah,
the
rage
bonus
is
action.
rage is a bonus action. Yeah, so you can't use your extra rage bonus action attack. Yeah, so just the one.
Okay. I'm going to attack recklessly to get advantage.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
A 19 and an 18 will both hit.
Can I take the better one?
Oh, it's with advantage, right? Then a 19, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was 2 attacks.
No, you're good. It just has higher damage too.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, you kind of shove this thing off with your axe and wheel around, and as you bring your blade just like solidly into the side of this thing's torso, just cleaving through some of its clammy, kind of flabby, pale flesh. As you take a good chunk out of its side, you can see kind of a splash of crimson staining the dark water. Anything else?
I'm gonna roar in its face, really
All right.
loud.
All right, you let out a bellowing challenge to it. Quinn, what do you want to do? You were kind of interrupted in the middle of gathering your mushrooms. Muted. Take a drink.
You're muted.
Hi. So, how deep is this water right here in between me and the creature? Like, can I wade into the water?
You don't know exactly how deep it is. Your estimate is probably at least waist deep.
Okay.
If you want to, I'd let you jump in and get an attack.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to. I just don't want to accidentally drown myself. But yeah, I want to. If it's wadeable, I want to.
He's like stepping
charge.
forward, bloop, gone.
Yeah, so I watch this thing come up out of the water and then deal some damage to it. I throw open my poncho and I pull out my sword. It's like a extremely elaborate like ceremonial officer's sword with this like gold filigree all over the handle and everything, and I charge through the water straight at this creature, and I'm just gonna run it through with my sword.
Okay, go for it.
I got a 21 to hit
That will do it.
for 14 points of damage.
All right. So you're in the water?
Yep.
All right. So you kind of
And
you jump.
I get 2 attacks actually.
Yeah, so you jump
Yeah.
off and kind of skewer downwards, just slide it, like slamming the blade of your sword right into this thing's kind of shoulder joint as it whips its head, kind of its tongue flat, thrashing around. As you catch it off guard, go ahead and make your second attack.
16.
16 will just make it.
Okay, another 9 points of damage.
All
so
right.
I, like parry and stab into it again.
All right, you kind of stab again and just continue through, making a large cut in this thing's side. It's kind of limping and bleeding and just kind of like as it's going to turn to you, Quinn. I accidentally skipped it, but don't let that fool you. It is going to turn its face towards you, and you see that its kind of pale, unmoving eyes just begin to emit this dim, kind of growing yellow glow. And as it meets eyes with yours, it's sort of like when you kind of see a laser or something, and it's when you get like at the right angle, it's extremely bright. Like just as this thing turns its head to you, the eyes that are kind of glowing all of a sudden flash with just blinding brilliance. And you need to make me a Constitution save.
Oh, shit.
Okay. 18.
All right. As you kind of you stumble backwards as you kind of catch the glance of this thing, as you feel this like your head is almost being like almost ringing with how bright this is. It feels like your corneas have almost been burned out, and you're just kind of rubbing your eyes, just like trying to blink away this light blindness. It's very like at first it's tough, but it seems to be slowly returning to you. But you're kind of glad that you only caught this thing's gaze for a second, because it looks like any more and you might have been in bad shape. It is going to swing a claw. Oh no, it's gonna swing at Quinn with its tongue. So this is another tongue attack, which it's too hurt to make, as it's just kind of stumbling around here in the water, just like its blood leaking out into the dark liquid. Fig Boot, what do you want to do? Are you gonna say that every time?
Of course. He looks up from where he was collecting his fungus and his mushrooms, and he's like, "Oh, first, do I understand what sort of creature this is? Could I make some sort of
Roll me a nature check.
Oh, right.
Never seen one of these before.
Okay. Could I, as I'm looking at it and I get my head up, never mind about that. I would like, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I would like to try to cast animal friendship on it.
Okay. What is the DC? What is the DC for that?
We don't need a dead frog man. Come on.
But no.
Convince a. You know what? I'll allow it. Choose a beast that you can see within range. It must see and hear you. If this thing's intelligence is 4 or higher. It's not. Otherwise, it must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be charmed for 24 hours. Okay, it's gonna make a wisdom saving throw right now, and we're gonna see whether you make friends with this thing.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Oh.
Thank you for saving us from that, Asgard.
thank you. Thank you.
Mom, can I take this with me?
I'm a little busy.
So you kind of you just begin like slowly sort of chanting a very low humming tune that just kind of reverberates through this cavern, and you can see its eyes kind of swaying towards you, and as it's kind of looking at you, like you see its glowing eyes, you just kind of like, as they begin kind of lighting up, you almost instinctively sort of drop the spell and back up with like trying not to meet eyes with this thing, so you do not manage to charm it.
Okay.
Should have used an ultra ball.
He is going to Big Boot. He's just gonna back up a little bit from this situation, and that's it.
Okay, cool. Robin, we are back to you.
Okay, I'm moving in. I'm going for the same blade combo. Starting with the rapier. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, fuck. 11.
11 is not gonna do it.
Then bonus action with these. Oh, jeez.
No, this thing is. You're kind of like Karaka's kind of like pushing this thing back with her axe, and this thing is thrashing around in the water. So you're kind of like standing on the edge of this little like lip above this pool, just trying to jab down, but not finding any purchase.
Yeah.
You got all those crits earlier, so now you.
I told you.
Yeah, nothing's landing here. Anything else?
No, I'm just gonna. No. I'm not gonna move backwards, because then it could get a swipe at me, so I'm just gonna stay there.
Okay. All right, Karak. What do you want to do?
Right.
Finish it.
Popping the frenzy hat on, let's go. Going in for the frenzy attack as well as the rage attack. So that's 2 attacks this round, both with advantage because they're both reckless. So I'm just gonna roll 4.
Go for it. Both will hit.
Alright.
A 23 and a 25 to hit, so the total damage is, looks like math, 31? No, 21. 21. I did a math wrong. 21.
I mean, I want that 16, but I probably can't have it.
All right. So you just as you let out a bellowing roar, you just bring your axe down and you kind of smash it into this thing's skull, and you kind of create like knock like one of its eyes. The light goes out as your axe cleaves into it, and as you raise your axe, kind of bellowing, echoing through the cavern for the next attack. How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Gonna swing the axe right behind my head. Gonna come on down, just cleave it straight down its ugly fucking face, because Karak has no anything right now. She's just going for the eyes.
All right.
Straight down the middle.
You bring your axe down in one heavy swipe, and you just feel it kind of slam directly into the center of this thing's skull. You feel the bone break under the weight of your blade, and you just watch instantly as the light in this thing's eyes goes dead, and it's just its face thumps forward into the water and the rock in front of you. And as you're just sitting there, just kind of heaving breath, you wrench your axe out of this thing's skull, and you just kind of look down at it as its body slowly slips down into the water.
Gonna wipe some spittle too, just like right there. And Karak out. We're done. I'm also exhausted.
How likely is it that there's anything loot worthy on this slimy thing?
Yuck.
On the creature.
Do you want to try and pull it out of the water?
Well, Figboot would actually get up and kind of hobble over, and he would like to actually gingerly look inside the mouth of the creature to see what it might have eaten in the past.
Karak is going to wheel on him, and what have you done this entire time?
I've been helping in ways that you cannot perceive, my friend.
Because they're not there.
I told you it was only gonna get us killed.
No, don't worry. We'll be fine.
Guys, ease down. But yes, Bolus, if you wanted to do that, I can help you.
Did you say guys ease down or guys he's stoned?
The latter, I assume automatically without saying it.
Could go either way. The creature itself, you're probably not gonna find much on, unless you could, in theory, delve into its stomach contents, but that would be long and messy.
Actually, my warlock would totally do that, but I'm not right now, so.
All of a sudden it's jaws, and you just cut it open and let the guts spill out on the dock.
Yes, Karak, you did have that thing that you were hauling to the shore earlier.
Okay, can I take an eye as a trophy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now I'm gonna check out what got us into this whole mess.
All right, you lift up this corpse, and it's definitely a human's body. There's really...
So it's not a halfling?
No. There's really little that remains to actually identify the person who this was, but you can, as it appears, pretty much everything from like stomach to above, and up was chewed on and had bits eaten off, most likely by this creature. But most of the lower half is still intact, so you can see on the body's hip there appears to be kind of a damp but still jingling coin pouch. There also appears to be a silver chain that holds a kind of a little symbol that you're not particularly familiar with, and there also appears to be a flask that is filled with some sort of dark brownish red liquid.
I'm gonna hand the flask to Figboot.
What is this?
I don't know, but I figured you might.
Do the pinky
Can
tips.
I? Yes.
Yeah,
Can
go
I try? Do I know what this is?
Yeah,
It's
it's
strange liquid.
yeah. You're pretty sure as you kind of sniff it. You're pretty sure this is a potion of cure light wounds.
This, of course, is a potion of cure light wounds.
Well, that
Fantastic.
is good. Because earlier I realized that we didn't say that we stocked up on any healing potions. Does that mean we didn't do that, or can we
Who had the
silently
money for
assume
that?
it? Well, Aspirin actually said that we could start with quite a bit of money
Oh.
at the beginning.
Well, cool. I missed that message.
He didn't say it here previously, but yeah, no, but Aspirin, what would you say when we said we stocked up for the travel? Does it
If you-
also include?
Unless you noted it beforehand, I am assuming you like that would have been something you would probably have to actually go pick up because those
Okay.
cost a decent chunk of money. So
Should have come to the store with me.
yeah, should have
So I'm
gone.
gonna.
The other thing again, you seem to be holding on like a silver chain this strange object. It looks like a talisman of like a skull with a bone, like a femur bone coming down out the bottom, and some sort of strange sharpened bone going through the side of the head and out the other side.
I'm leaning in
So-
to get a closer look at that.
I may not be as smart as everybody else here, but we came across the orc. We've come across this human. No halfling bodies, which means the halflings probably took the northeast path, and the human thug group decided to come this way.
See, I thought that you were gonna say that the halflings obviously killed everyone because that's where I was going.
I have to have one redeeming quality.
It's not that you're super paranoid of halflings.
I give the potion to Karak.
I just want to see them fight. Because
You
it
just-
must be very amusing.
Wait, hold on. You want to fight? You want to see the halflings fight something else, or all fight each other?
I'm not picky.
Okay.
Would that count as a fetish?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you say no,
Well,
but
only
you know
she's-
what else you want to see?
Only if she's taking sexual pleasure from it.
Or is she?
I don't know. I'm not her character.
What I actually meant to say is, so as Robin leans in to get a closer look, she says to Karak, pointing at the amulet, does this mean anything to you? This symbol?
Hey DM, does this mean anything to me?
me?
Probably not. I'm assuming between the two of you, I mean, you probably are able to, at the very least, identify a holy symbol, but neither of you are familiar with this represents.
I was just about to ask. I'm proficient in religion. Would I recognize it?
Possibly. Roll me an intelligence check.
Do you want an int check or a religion check?
Religion is a skill, isn't it?
It's a skill, yeah.
Then that's the one.
I got a 19.
You know the basics. This is here, let me get the exact details. This symbol, you've seen it around. It's not a particularly nice omen. This represents the god Xiphus. He's sort of a malignant god of accidental death, and particularly at odds with Pharasma, who is sort of the goddess who rules over the passage to the afterlife.
Okay, so Quinn takes a look at the pendant and just chuckles to himself, and he says, "You guys will get a kick out of this. That's
What
the
is
symbol.
it?
That's the symbol for the god of accidental death."
Well, I look at Karak. Are you gonna say it?
Only seems fitting.
It takes Karak a second, then she chuckles and goes, I bet they didn't find that humorous. And she looks at the bones that are on the thing.
Oh god.
Can I keep that symbol?
Everyone drink.
I was gonna say we need to turn this into the drinking game.
I can put our channel's drinking rules up on if you want. I don't have one for puns, but I will. at some point.
If you keep me around, you're gonna need one.
Yeah, I'm mostly worried the tiger's gonna kill us or kill our viewers.
No, I told you guys. I got tagged. I'm not gonna throw out like 20 in the same
No,
one.
she-
You say that.
She is tasteful with the puns. Tasteful.
I mean, Django's in chat. He knows how many of these I can throw out, so we're good.
Tasteful. All right. So, you guys have collected what you can find on this corpse.
I make sure to put that on my armor, like that token.
You want to like
It's
hang
around my
it'll
neck or
yeah, it'll
on
hang
my
around your
armor.
neck. Yeah.
Okay, it's around my neck.
Yeah.
Can
Got
I
it.
add to my inventory various mushrooms and fungi?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so you had like of the few you collected, they're probably not the worst, and certainly not in tiny doses, but from the samples you've seen, you would probably not be surprised if some of the molds down here were not healthy to be interacting with.
I keep them anyway.
Okay.
I only foraged the edible ones.
Yeah, you didn't pick any poisonous ones, but from the conditions, you can kind of gauge that it's likely there might be some of that down here. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm guarding this hallway over here to everyone's backs while they're wrapping up, but I'm pretty much just gonna sit here and wait till we regroup and start.
It seems that's the only way to continue, right? I mean, I at this moment I would assume that we're not
I ain't
willing to
getting
go
back
back into the water.
Nope, not happening.
Well,
Mistakes were
So we
made.
continue.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Okay.
continue down the hall.
Okay.
yes.
Who's leading?
Robin.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Are you
I,
Robin?
mean, I can lead right. I can lead right now if you want. Robin, I definitely want you in front as soon as we get to that big ass metal wall.
Sounds good. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, Quinn, if you want to go in front, do you want to take any particular precautions? Are you keeping your eye out for something?
I would like to move stealthily.
Okay. Are you telling the rest of the group to stay back then?
Yeah. If you guys just want to hang back for a little bit, I'll scout ahead.
Okay.
How about it?
Okay. So I'll scout out. They'll give me some distance, and I'll scout. If I'm traveling alone with my natural explorer, I can be stealthed and move at my full speed.
That is fine. Roll me a stealth check, please.
25.
You got it. All right, so you begin creeping down the corridor. Go ahead and show me where you want to move to, and I will let you know what you find.
I have to find my.
I believe it's
token
under
first.
Robin.
It's buried underneath
Yeah.
someone.
Hold on. Maybe I'm on top of that. Nope.
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's either Bulget or Fig Boot or
yeah.
Robin.
There you go.
Thank you.
Very ominous pounding noise in the background.
Why is my roll 20 remain so slow?
Hold on. I don't know. It's being
It was lagging from earlier.
yeah.
It's lagging like super hardcore on my end.
All right. So yeah, I don't know why it's roll 20 is being crappy today. I'll move you. You can. I'll
I
see.
want to move here.
Yeah,
If
there you
can
go.
see my ping.
You can see that the tunnel kind of winds for a bit before seeming to come to a four-way intersection. You can see the pathway that you are on continues, but it also intersects, and also you can actually notice just kind of barely. There's more than just sort of rock and dirt that fills this intersection. There are little bits of other things, some rusty, things that are not natural.
Can I make an investigation check?
Yeah, do you want to look? Do you want to get closer? Do you want to try and make out what you
Well,
can?
I want to try and make out what I can from here. I guess like I stop at the edge of the intersection, and I guess first thing is a cursory glance to see what it is. I'm pretty familiar at this point with wreckage and with scrap, so I'm mostly looking to see, does it look like just that, or does this look like something different?
No, this looks like bits of scrap that have just been kind of like. It doesn't look like it. You're only seeing kind of bits of it scattered throughout the tunnel itself, so it looks like this was probably kicked or dragged here from a larger pile.
Yeah, it was probably like pushed by like water coming through here at one point or something like that. I'm gonna double back towards the group and let them know that there is a 4-way intersection up ahead, so we're gonna need to make a decision about which way to go.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna step forward and let's see.
So basically, do we see any bodies around us, or is it just kind of like this pile of scrap parts or something?
There's no bodies that you can see.
It's just, so describe what's on the ground kind of at this intersection again. You mentioned
you can kind of see, are you guys, Robin, are you kind of stopping there, or do you want to lean around and kind of check?
Yeah, I'm assuming that we have to get lower, so if from any direction there's fresh air coming, that's probably not the way we need to go.
Yeah, you don't really feel any fresh air. The air is definitely foul here. It's breathable. It's not choking you, which means there must be some ventilation, but it's not particularly nice tasting air. But as you kind of round the corner and peek your head around, you can see there's like a collection of crates, boxes, rubble, and bits of scavenged metal that lie heaped in.
Where in this direction?
In this kind of north.
Oh, in that direction.
In this kind of northwest section of this damp cave, you can see. You can actually make out along the walls several strange-looking chalk drawings of kind of twisted, spiny plants, a strange three-legged creature, and what appear to be emaciated four-armed humanoids are kind of sketched on the walls here.
Okay. Sort of making a waving gesture towards the others. I think I might have found something.
I have a quick question. Askren, is there any writing along with those pictographs?
No, it is just the drawings.
Okay, thanks.
Do you mind if I take a look in this wreckage?
No, not at all. But I would like to keep an eye out that there's a lot of stuff on the floor. I just want to sort of look over it and make sure that there's nothing in there that suddenly can come to spring to life or some kind of trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch your fig boots. I'm just gonna stand watch at one of the mouths of the path.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So would that be...
Whichever one Karak's not at, I'm at.
Okay.
So can I just say that I'm keeping an eye open, or if I'm actively... Okay.
All right, so you, Figboot, you wanted to investigate the wreckage?
Yeah.
The detritus? What are you looking for?
In particular, I'm looking for any particularly alien scraps, or what might be scraps of technology from Reign of Stars type technology.
Okay.
Not just metal, but actual like devices or things of that sort.
Roll me a perception check.
Alright. Not investigation?
No, perception.
Alright.
Okay.
It's a spicy meatball.
You can you kind of walk up onto this pile of just junk, and you're kind of kicking your foot around using your kind of like walking stick to sift through it the best you can. Among the rubble and refuse here, you can definitely make out a few sort of ruined little bits of various technological devices. Nothing immediately recognizable or really anything that looks particularly useful. It's just little kind of broken off or rusted bits. But you can see there's kind of strange tangles of wires and, unusually crafted fragments, stuff that you haven't really seen before, that probably indicates that wherever this came from might be slightly more ornate or advanced stuff, things that you haven't actually seen before. You also, while you're kind of kicking over the rubble, you sort of like smash your foot through this sort of little molded wooden box, and out of it scatters 7 of these sort of strange looking, about $half sized silver coins or discs. Anyone local to Torch would recognize these as silver discs. They're they are sometimes found in ruins and wreckages. They are traded for a little bit of money. There is in fact a gambling hall in Torch named after these. They're kind of like a wealth thing. No one really knows exactly.
Almost like a, not a poker chip, but like a
jeton.
like a chip you would get at Las Vegas or something. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah, though no one exactly knows what they're for. They just know that they're readily identifiable and sometimes found in wreckage and dungeon sites, so they circulate around the economy.
That's about it?
That you find 7 of these and not a whole lot else.
Alright, I indicate to everyone else those silver discs, and then I kind of back away and I don't take them for myself.
Could you describe those the chalk markings again, please? So it's just something with
Yes.
3.
There are designs and stuff between them, but there are 3 large drawings that collect your attention. There appears to be sort of drawings of these twisted, spiny-looking plants, a strange, hunched-over, 3-legged creature, and these sort of emaciated, 4-armed humanoids.
Robin is going to take a very quick sketch.
That is fine. You can record those as you like.
Alrighty.
Are those in any particular, like, how are they arranged? Are they all on one wall? Are they?
No, they're kind of going
that?
around. They're kind of scattered around. You can't really make out an order to them. They don't seem to be like connected. They don't seem to be connected in the way that like Egyptian hieroglyphics are, like very sort of set pattern. They're just kind of sketched at random.
Okay.
Do they seem to be fresh, or is that something like those old cave paintings that have been really?
No, they
worked into
look
the
like they've
stone?
been here for a little while.
Okay.
So if I were to try to like surmise that perhaps these chalk drawings are saying that this drawing is down this hallway, this drawing is down that hallway.
There's
that's not really what they're
there's
saying.
no direct
Okay.
correlation that you can identify.
All right. Okay.
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
I suppose we choose a direction.
Quinn, can you see anything?
Good question. Askering, can I see anything?
You can definitely make out that there is, the floor seems to drop off just a little bit ahead of you, and you can actually feel kind of a little bit of a colder draft coming from the passageway. You can almost make out like wispy, kind of like wisps of steam or something kind of emanating from this chamber. The walls appear to be coated. You can't actually see down past this little lip right here, but you can see that the walls opposite them and stuff seem to be coated in this strange, like rust-colored powder.
There's a breeze down this way, and perhaps some steam vents.
Karak, what about you? You see anything?
You're muted. Okay.
So what can I see?
You're looking down the other chamber. Roll me a perception check.
I ain't seeing shit.
You can see the best of your ability. You can tell. Here, let me see if I gave you dark vision. If I didn't, yeah, I did already. The best of your ability, you can see that this chamber after a small passage, it seems to open up into a much larger cavern. But any light or vision you have is sort of lost in the space.
I can't see too far, but it does look like the cavern opens up further on.
I don't know. We can check out Quinn's direction first, perhaps.
Yeah, last time I tried to make something happen, it wasn't a good thing.
Karak,
Okay.
as you're kind of turning away from the cavern here, and looking down the other path, you hear a kind of a sound echoing up from behind you.
Back down the path.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, guys. I just heard something.
What is it?
I can't quite tell.
It
But
was
something's
echoey
in
and
there.
muffled. Yeah.
It's a muffled echo. I think it might be in our best interest to seek it out before it seeks us out.
And I look at Quinn and sort of make a, let's go, let's
Yeah,
sneak ahead movement.
I nod. Yeah, I rattle my sword in its scabbard and nod and start following.
I'm gonna ready my
Which
axe.
direction are we going? Toward the sound?
Yeah, towards the sound.
I would like to try and move stealthily.
Okay. Are you taking the lead?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
Robin's gonna take the lead. I'll take the rear guard.
Fine. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check and make your move. Okay.
I'm just gonna whisper before we start moving. Be careful, remember, there are those people that they were talking about that could blend in the shadows. We may not be able to see them if that's the case.
I thought you were gonna go on about the halflings again.
Remember, those halflings are
Halflings.
dangerous.
And the halflings are still out here. There are
They're
3.
still-
We haven't found a body
Still
yet.
out there.
They're still here.
By the
waiting for
by the
us.
time we make it out, she will have woven this huge big
Conspiracy
tale
theory.
about about this really dangerous
gosh.
polygon.
Group
I'm
of-
gathering intel on the halflings.
So I'm drawing my blades, and apparently I'm not moving stealthily.
Well, you're
Oh, no,
you're doing the best you can.
Which is
So you make your way slowly, like step after step, down this chamber, and as your light illuminates it, you, Robin, are standing in a vast chamber that rises nearly 30 feet above your head. You're standing on what appears to be a 5-foot wide ledge that kind of runs around this western edge of the room, sloping immediately in front of your feet down to the cave floor about 10 feet below. You can see these things right here are ramshackle huts that appear to be made of strips of metal, hides, and some sort of fibrous plant matter that kind of squat in this large cave, while you can just barely make out a sort of a deep pit caving downwards into the southern end. And as you kind of step through this chamber, your blade kind of clacks against the wall, echoing resoundingly, kind of giving away any chance of stealth that you might have had. And as you just sort of freeze in place, holding your breath, not knowing what to expect next, there's just quiet.
I'm uncomfortable with how long this is taking, so I start moving towards Robin.
As you start stomping down the chamber, Robin, you're still kind of frozen there, waiting for the echo to die down, and then all of a sudden, from your right side, you hear, "Hello. Why are you here? Would you like to parley?" And as this is happening, you see a strange-looking creature step out of the shadows. It is a very tall, very lanky, and hairless humanoid form with dark gray skin, kind of clutching a single dagger and kind of caressing the tip in its hand as it looks at you with these beady eyes. this appears to be a female. The only real clothing it has is scraps of hide that are kind of tied across various parts of its body, and it's just kind of like regarding you. Well, speak. And that's where we're gonna end it for tonight.
Oh
Oh
It's
man,
Newman's girlfriend.
yes.
How tall
now
is it?
you know. Oh man, but that is gonna be it. That is our little cliffhanger for the evening. There always has to be one. If you don't know me, you know. If you know me, that you know how I do things. But don't go away, guys. If you're hanging out in chat, we're gonna do some talking. We're gonna hang out for a bit, and of course, stick with us. And we're gonna go pass the D&D love on to someone, some other channel in just a second. But before we do that, let's bring things back up. Let's bring this awesome music up, and go and talk to our players, because I want to get some thoughts, some impressions on the session and what's going on so far. And of course,
Taking off her armor.
yeah, no, it's cool. This we can make TV out of this. So let's go ahead to our cast and get some thoughts and impressions. Of course, if you're in chat, please let us know what you guys thought, whether you had a good time. We'd love to hear it. And let's start with Mrs. Petra. What do you think about tonight?
This is good. This is good stuff. No, I really like the chemistry of our group, and I was so psyched during the last couple of days to finally meet the other characters. So we've been talking back and forth, and I thought to have an idea, but then like Bolus definitely turned out to be a little bit different than I thought, and I will never look at Fix the same way. No.
I still can't believe he had one in his boot.
I think that was the biggest twist of the night.
It was.
That seems
Fig boot. What do
yeah,
you
but
expect?
that seems like
I didn't think it was literal.
no, but that seems like a reveal that comes later in the campaign.
Well, I mean,
more
for
reveals to
now,
be
he
had.
just showed us the fig. Who knows what
What
the
else is
story
in there?
Hey,
Those
what
are the
else?
reveals, my friend. It's only the beginning. Fig
How
is
did the
only
fig get in there? Why did the fig get in there?
so for every session, we will have something like an interlude.
to see
Long
what's inside
time.
Fig Boot's boot.
A long time ago, yeah. No, basically how the fig ended up in there. Like, what is the story of that little fig?
No, but there's like a little like Pixar like short animation before each episode. The story of the fig.
Oh man. Well, Petra, why don't you go ahead and tell us what do you get up to on the internet? Is there anywhere people can find you? What do you kind of do when you're not playing D&D? And we'll share some of those links in chat for all that
what am
goodness.
I doing? You can definitely find me on Twitter. I'm going to type that because it has my lovely name Volkhausen in there, which might not come easy to those of you who are not from Germany. And otherwise, role-playing wise, right now this is my only game. It's the first game in a couple of months, so I'm super psyched. Although I have something else coming up in a few weeks, and I will tell you more once I'm allowed to. And if I'm not doing that, I'm currently writing/publishing a fantasy story, like an interactive online story for advanced German learners. So if anybody is learning German out there or knows somebody who does, check out the website d2214.de. I'm going to post it in the chat as well. And yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Absolutely. Make sure you go show her some love on Twitter and check out all that good stuff. I will, of course, I don't have them yet, but I will get shout-out commands so we can automate all this later on. But definitely go show everyone here some love. Next up, who do we have? We have Mr. Scott. What do you think about tonight?
Had a blast, man. That was great. I definitely thought things were going to go differently than they did, and it went to some really fun places. I'm enjoying the dynamic of the group, and definitely excited to see where this goes and what the hell is up with those creepy shadow halflings that are about to kill us.
Oh my god, who even
Halflings,
knows?
I'm telling you.
They are the overlords.
Our halfling overlords.
Well, what do you get up to on the internet, my friend? Where can people find you when they're not watching you here?
They can find me at Elanond RPG on Twitter. Follow me there. I pretty much only do Dungeons and Dragons stuff at this point online. So I'm doing this show currently right now. Some of you might know me from Tabletop Champions, which was my old podcast that I did. I'm currently shopping out some ideas right now, and I'm also working on a world book for a campaign setting called Elanond that I've been building for the last couple of years.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Go make sure you go
me
check
in a
that.
nutshell.
Yeah, make sure you go check that out. Show them some love, of course. Give these guys.
Oh,
some...
hey, actually, I just thought of it. Tulura, the NPC that ran the general store, that was an NPC generated by my Twitter followers. So you guys follow me on Twitter. I'll be doing stuff like that for this campaign going forward.
That's cool.
You guys can help me bring some stuff to life here in the game if you like.
Awesome. I did not know that, but we will find. I already know exactly what I'm going to do with that character. Murder her horribly.
Not my weed dealer.
Oh man. Well, let's move.
We're back.
Zach, what did you think of tonight?
I enjoyed it very much. When Figboot, the old grumpy dwarf, meets Dolga, the old grumpy dwarf, things are meant to happen. You created that just for me, didn't you?
I can neither
expect
confirm
Figboot
nor
to see-
deny anything.
Can't expect Figboot to see a female version of him and not be, especially she's a dwarf too, So I'm excited to see what happens with Dolga. Maybe we'll get married and move off back to the mountains or something. And then she can become.
Sorry, laying on plans.
She can become Dolga Figboot. God.
He already has his kids named.
So obviously, we know that the Fig Boot title wasn't earned. It is
a family name,
so it can't be
and
passed.
the fig. So either the fig was a lucky happenstance or it was intentional.
Unless she has to go through some sort of trial before they can get married, and they have like the trial of the fig.
My
Well, I
question
can-
is,
oh no, you know how when you get married you like jump the broom or something. When they get married, he would put a fig in her boot.
oh, see, I thought that's how you were going to propose to her. Was you were going to
present the fig.
He's not. I don't think he's going to propose when we're coming back. If we're making, I'm just assuming we're going to make him back. He has this list and he's going to hold it to the speech, basically saying this is how we're going to get married and this is how a life will look like.
Don't give me any ideas, please.
Or maybe just anyone who ends up with a fig in their boot is just part of the family now. That's legal.
I love all of this. I love this.
If he manages to trick them or her to put the fig into her own boot.
I'm like some sort of like ancient Nordic fairy now. I have to trick someone into getting a fig in their boot.
This is world building, guys. This is lore.
Oh god.
like 10 episodes from now, Quinn's going to be putting on his boots and be like, damn it, there's a fig in here.
That means you're not married to
Now
someone.
I'm married to
Oh man. Well, where can people find you on the internet? What do you get up to, my friend?
What I get up to, I do a lot of voice acting. I have a website, zachclay.com. I can put that in chat.
Yeah, go for it.
I think
Do it all.
that's my website. I'm also on Twitter as @ZachClay, which
With
is
a lot of A's.
yes, which is this. That is my Twitter handle. And also I DM for a local group here, not streamed yet, but we're all in person, and that is called Roleplay by the Bay because we're by the San Francisco Bay. We intend to stream soon and to upload videos to YouTube. And that's about it. Roleplay by the Bay is also on Twitter if you want to check us out. We've been doing some stuff. But that's about it, yeah. Lots of D&D stuff.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Go check that out. Of course, show some love. And last, of course, on the list, but never least, what do you think of today, Tiger?
I think it was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you letting me come out and play. It's been a couple of years since I've D&D'd, and I'm I'm really glad to get back into it.
D and done is it?
D and done. D and done it.
Done.
But the characters are a lot of fun. Meeting you guys has been a lot of fun. And, yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. Assuming you guys don't kick me out from too many puns.
Never.
We mustn't forget character description next time.
Yeah, we'll work that in to the beginning of the session. I forgot. I didn't put it in my notes, but that's all right. Do you have anywhere that people can find you on the internet? Things you get up to, all that good stuff.
Everything is Tiger Rises. So if you want to check out Twitter, Tiger Rises. Twitch, Tiger Rises. I just posted everything there. So I do a lot of shit posting generally, and
Yeah.
Amusing memes most of the time. But I stream World of Warcraft, Pokemon, and Ark, Survival Evolved.
Awesome. And as always, my name is Astrid, and I am your host and Dungeon Master here. And thank you guys for coming out to the first episode of Iron Gods. We had a blast. I seriously hope you guys did too, and I hope to see all of you back next week for some more. Or if you can't wait till next week, you can of course join us this Saturday for our open legend horror campaign called Writhing Moon. That is a ton of fun.
Really creepy.
It is a lot of fun. It is great. Some great horror, great cast, all that good stuff. And you definitely want to be here. And then of course Sundays for Jade Regent, and then Mondays we just do creative streams. Tuesdays, of course, we're back on Fuzzy Dice with Mike Merles. Before we do bounce out of here, I wanted to thank Velo for another $1 donation with the dun 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 at the end of this show. Thank you so much, man. And thank you, Shiny Pants Black and Gallivanting Recluse and Ganwari Wana and Emperor Ink XT, and also Mr. Mridden Ambrose. I don't know how to read that name. And Unhewn and Kem Laird for following. Welcome to the madness, my friends. Thank you for joining us, guys. We loved having you, and I hope to see you around for more shows. As always, before we get out of here, we like to pass the D&D love on to another channel who is streaming. And I looked at the D&D channels, and one of my good friends, Mr. Mike Martin's Mathis Games, and Scott Dalerick, I forget his last name. They are streaming Lost Initiative right now. It's a really cool show. It's some really cool YouTubers and stuff playing D&D. So I think we're gonna go pass the love on to them with a host and a raid.
Yay.
So while let me just fix the sound here. But what's gonna happen is I am going to I'm gonna set it up. We're gonna put !raid Lost Initiative show in the chat. So here you go, guys. 1 second. !raid Lost Initiative show. So what I need you guys to do is I need you to pop in there. I need you to make sure you type Exploding Dice Raid. Let them know where you're coming from as we drop up the host. You guys, if you want, you can follow over there. You can shout them out. You can pass the hype on. We had a great time. We will see you next time. But as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because he might ambush you with 3 halflings standing on each other's shoulders.
Shit.
We'll see you next time, guys. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.